you. Thank you. Let's have order, please. The people at the door, please, let's go and use the other door at the back. DJ, please play music as we welcome the delegation. DJ. DJ, please play music. DJ, please play music. Migori hoye! Migori hoye! Let's all rise up as we sing the national anthem. Let's all rise up. Thank you. We will welcome Pastor. Pray for us. Pastor, quickly.
Tupate nafasi tuombe Mungu. Asante sana Mungu yetu. Ni asubuhi njema tumekuja katika college ya Migori kama watu wa Migori. Kwanza kabisa Mungu tunakushukuru kwa sababu umeongoza viongozi yetu, minister, governors na kadhalika, tumefika mbele yetu. Mungu umesema mambo yote ambayo yamewekwa mbele yako hawezi enda kombo, lakini unabariki, unaweka sawa. Tumekuja kusikia mengi kutoka kwa wakubwa yetu. Tunaomba tukianza na tumalize kwa jina yako. Tunaomba machache katika jina la Yesu Kristo.
Amen. Thank you. We can all sit. Thank you. Silence. At this point, Waziri, Governor Migori County, allow me welcome the principal of the institution who will set for us the meeting.
Yes.
Principal.
Yes.
Principal for the institution, please. We can clap for him as he comes.
Yes.
Okay. The Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury and Economic Planning, Honorable John Mbadi, the Governor, His Excellency, Ochiro Oyako, and all elected members who are present, and all participants, I greet you in the name of Jesus. I want to say mine is very brief. It's just to welcome Honorable Mbadi in this institution. He's a friend of this institution, and is doing quite a lot in this institution to enable it to be where it is right now. And all of you stakeholders You have assisted us so much, and therefore we believe that we are going to have a good engagement. I know it is a great honor also to have the governor with us here, and he is also very supportive of this institution. I take this time to welcome you on behalf of the students, the teachers, support staff to this college in a special way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's clap for the principal. Thank you for welcoming us to this beautiful institution. At this point, friends, the business community present, the youths, the students, Bunge la Wananchi, good morning. Good morning. Are you happy to be here today? Are you happy to see the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury here? Let's see by a show of hands how many people welcome Honorable John Mbadi. How many people are also happy to see our home governor, Honorable Chila Yako? Thank you. At this point, allow me introduce, or rather welcome the Deputy Governor of this beautiful county, who will do the official introduction, and then in turn welcome the governor. Thank you. Let's all clap as we welcome DG.
Thank you very much. The governor of Migori County, Dr. Chila Yako, our CS, Honorable Mbadi, who is our chief guest today, our peers, who is here with us, the invited guests, the leadership of the business community, student leadership, and the people of Migori, good morning. Thank you very much. Mine is to recognize for the people here representing the county government of Migori. I'll start with the speaker. I can't request speaker, I can't introduce your people. You come and introduce your colleagues who are present here. Then I'll do the counting.
CS National Treasury and Planning, who is the chief guest, our governor, Dr. Chila Yako, permanent secretary is present, business community, Bunge la Wananchi, members of the county assembly, na wana Migori wote, amjamboni. It's my honor, Bwana CS, and we want to thank you for having extended an invitation to members of the county assembly from Migori. Indeed, we received the invite to attend this important function, and we don't take that for granted. For that reason, I request members of the county assembly who are present to rise up. Wanawasiri is a full house. I have all the members, the 59 of them, 60 of us, including myself. We have your friend, Honorable Kale, behind there from Gotkachola Ward. We have Norman from East Kanyamkago Ward. Honorable Kie, nominated. Honorable Dandi, nominated. Honorable Caleb Ongele from Kwa Ward. Jacob Caleb Sakal from Central Kamagambo. We have Brian Osado from Kachieng. We have Honorable Mikwaya from North Sakwa. We have Honorable Eunice Odi from Central Kanyamkago. Honorable Lemo Bonyo from North Kadem. We have a member for Isebania. We have Honorable Ellis nominated here. Honorable Nyaoka East Kamagambo. Honorable Tyson nominated. Honorable Biti Sonyancha. Honorable Biti Sonyancha, the area MCA. You want to say hi to your people? Just wave from there. We have Honorable Mercy nominated, sorry. We have Honorable Machumbe from Tagare, from Kumusoko, Nyamosense. Ward, sorry. We have my chair budget, Graham. We have Majority Leader, Honorable Ken Ouma Oro. We have Senior Honorable Omamba from North Kanyamkago Ward. We have Honorable Wambora from East Intumaro East Ward. I saw majority whip here. Honorable CS, all of us are here as a full house. Therefore, watu wa Migori, we are together with you. We are here to bring our views and contribute as people of Migori pamoja. Asanteni sana. My name is Christopher Rusana, Speaker Migori County Assembly.
Thank you. Speaker, makofi kwa kazi mzuri. Now I want to introduce the executive part of county government of Migori and the leadership of our CS. Kindly the people, the staff from the county government of Migori to simame. Those who are present, those we have there. Thank you very much. We have the tuko na Chief of Staff Bwana Ouma ako hapa, tuna Waziri Cyrus wa maji, tuko na Chief wa Blue Economy Bwana Ochola, tuko na ward admins wenye wako hapa. Asante sana. Can we wave the ward admin? Asante sana, you are fully recognized. Otherwise, these are the representative and I guess others are joining you. Now, I want to invite our governor to come and officially welcome you to Migori County, Bwana CS. Karibu, Your Excellency.
Asante sana Bwana Diji, asante sana, thank you very much. Good morning Migorians. Hebu nione kwa mkono wale wanashukuru Mungu kwa siku ya leo. Thank you very much. The Cabinet Secretary, my very good friend and fellow Migorian, CPA Mbadi Nyang, karibu hapa Migori County. Our very own Principal Secretary, Bwana Odede Wagunda, ama Wagunda Odede, County Commissioner, fellow leaders who are here, wafanyibiashara, vijana, bunge letu la wananchi, bunge la jimbo hili na waheshimiwa wenzangu, speaker, wafanyibiashara wote. The Cabinet Secretary, I want to take this opportunity to officially welcome you to Migori County and appreciate the fact that you have convened or requested the people you have convened or officially requested the people of Migori to convene and participate in influencing and informing policies and decisions you can pass that information to your colleague Waziri Wandai that power is very unstable in Migori County. It is always on and off, and it's not possible to grow our economy that way. So I want to appreciate you for convening us so that the people of Migori, pursuant to the Constitution of Kenya, participate in policy and decision making in matters that are important to them. Today is your day and our day. Mimi kama kiongozi hapa Migori County, I am always with these people. We are always working together. We are always trying to grow our economy. But not many of them who are here today get the opportunity to see you, or speak to you, and influence your policy. I will therefore not take the longest time talking about things that we ordinarily talk about. I just want to say three things. The economy of Migori is founded on the pillar of blue economy, which is the lake. It is founded on agriculture, including livestock keeping. Every week, hapa Migori County, we have livestock that are sold in our local markets, amounting to 7,420 every week. In fact, we are one county that can host tannery, skin and hides na vitu kama hivyo hapa Migori County. All the way from Kuria to Nyatike, we supply livestock to Homa Bay, Kisumu and Kenya. Don't ask us where they come from. They are in Migori. Some of them, I'm told, walk all the way from South Africa. Lakini zinafika hapa Migori. So as you plan and as you look at how to grow this economy, there is opportunity in tannery, there is opportunity in beef. In our blue economy, we have the deepest part of the lake, although our shore is not very large, but we have a very deep part. We are happy that the national government, in partnership with the county, is looking at the possibility of the harbor and lake transport. But more, we request more to be done about it. We have not achieved our full potential about the lake. In Migori County, we have minerals. Tuko na many minerals in Nyatike, in Kuria East, in Kuria West, in Suna East, in Awendo, in Suna West, in Suna East, in Awendo, and in Rongo. We have gold and other minerals. Bwana Waziri, we still need engagement between the county government, national government, and the people of Migori so that we make the best out of the minerals in Migori County. Sitaki kusema mengi. I know there is a topic you will speak to which is called privatization, but my experience tells me that when government privatizes, for instance, when we allow the private sector to run our institutions, they run them very well, we know. But private sector never invests in virgin areas. Ukiuliza private sector, iende sehemu fulani hapa Kuria, and government has not ventured anywhere there. Ukiuliza private sector, iende Nyatike, haitaenda. So as we privatize public institutions that we have, we want more government investment as startups. Wananchi kama sisi, ukisema tujenge kiwanda kikubwa hapa Migori County, ni vigumu sana wananchi kufanya. Tumejenga sehemu inaitwa county and aggregation in an area here, but we still need the government, the national government, to come and take the lead because the private sector people are shy. Tuko na kiwanda ambayo county ilijenga in partnership with the European Union. It is for sweet potatoes. It is a very nice place here in Kuria, but the private sector is still afraid of coming there. Our very good kiwanda ya mango hapa Kuria mkoa tunaona kinegi anasema hivi. We have a mango processing factory. There is demand, but the private sector is afraid of coming there. So the point I'm making, and this is the last point, as government agrees that government is not efficient in running business, government is efficient and courageous in starting businesses. Tangia serikali yanze Sony in this part of Nyanza, the plan for Sony was started in 1967, implemented in 1978. No other plant imeletwa hapa Migori County. Government is encouraged to privatize whatever it wants to privatize, but bring government investments back to Migori. Migori is ready for that. When the investment grows, and it now requires efficiency, when it has employed everybody in Migori and encouraged other investments, we will be available to buy shares in it as the people of Migori. Kwa hayo machache, allow me now to invite you to set for us and tell us here lakini wakati unakuja hapa wameutambua na wanafahamu treasury is here, na leo ni siku ya soko. Na sana sana waheshimiwa wenzangu, si waheshimiwa mko, si kwenu watu watawatembelea na wananchi wako. I am being advised that the CS does not want to speak twice, but I was requesting the CS just to come and greet us, alafu tukae tu pale chini. Yeye ataongea baadaye. CS, ukikubali, tunajua ni mwanasiasa, ukisimama hapa kila sehemu mwili ya watu wa Migori itajua uko wapi. Sasa tusimame wote. CS aseme hii meeting ni sawasawa, alafu tukae. Hebu nione wale wamekaribisha CS, nione kwa mkono. Asante sana bwana CS, karibu.
Haya, Migori oye! Comrades power! Comrades viva! Asanteni sana. Narudi kuongea baadaye. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Body power. Body ria. Body divin. Nyang'adimo power. Thank you. Come, amigos. At this point, allow me also introduce or rather recognize the presence of the national government, who I will invite the county commissioner
to introduce their team. County Commissioner. Let's clap for County Commissioner as he comes.
Asante sana waziri wetu wa fedha Honorable John Bandi, makatibu wa kudumu ambao wameambatana naye, county government ikiongozwa na His Excellency Dr. Ochilo, viongozi, nimeona viongozi wakiwa speaker, viongozi wa Migori na wananchi wote, hamjambo. Yangu ni kidogo sana. Nashukuru Mheshimiwa Waziri kwa kutupa mwaliko leo. Ninajua tungependa kuwa wengi zaidi na hata wako wengi zaidi, lakini wale mmefika tutulie na tukapata mwongozo. Yangu ni kuwatambulisha tu wafanyikazi wa national government ambao wako hapa. Kamati yetu ya usalama sijui wako upande gani. DCCs, tusimame mahali ambapo waziri anaweza kutuona hata kama ni hapa. We want to recognize all of you. Nataka kuwatambulisha hapa mbele machifu wale wote wamekuja. CPC wengine tu, hiyo kamati ya juu tuangalie mbele. Asante sana. Huyu ni DCC wa Suna West. Hii maeneo tuko ni Suna West. Ameandamana na chiefs na ACCs wake. Ukirudi mwambie mkubwa timu yake iko gangari vile unavyoiona. Unaweza kusaluti na kuketi. Haya. Kamati kama ndio sifanyi kazi peke yangu, nina wanaume wawili pale. Katika security hatutafuti sana gender balance, maana unaweza kutoipata sehemu zingine. Kwa hivyo usiulize kwa nini ni wanaume tupu. Huyo unamuona hapo bwana TV anasimamia National Police Service, anayefuata bwana Msungu anasimamia AP, command yote ya AP. Asante waziri. Yangu ni hayo tu. Sijui kama kuna mtu mwingine exchequer hapa. Yule analipo kupitia national government. Tumutambulishe. Sawa basi. Wacha sisi tuketi tupatie waziri nafasi. Thank you so much. Hold it down.
Let's clap for CC. Thank you. We can now officially call the meeting to order after that introduction. I think in due course, the team from National Treasury will come up front and introduce themselves and speak. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good morning. Good morning. Waziri is here, Governor is here, Deputy Governor is here. Let's talk. Good morning. Thank you. My name is Ougo Sam. I am the Secretary General under the Youth Wing for Waziri. We will also introduce ourselves in due course. Why are we here? Let's context set. Waziri is here to listen to the people. He is here not to talk to you, but to listen to that which you have to say. And our main agenda is coined around privatization. You might ask yourself what privatization is. How is it impactful to you as a Kenyan citizen, as a Kenyan youth? So I think this deliberation will be of importance to us all as we journey through the fiscal year 2026-2027. So at this point, I'd like to welcome the people sat in front. If you see how we've set out ourselves, it is the people that are sitting in front, and the governor and Waziri are listening to them. So we have representative from the business community, we have representative from Bunge la Wananchi, and then we have the young tax. Comrades, power. Comrades, power. Comrades, Ria. Comrades, Tibim. I will highly recognize your presence when the time is right. At this point, allow me welcome the business community. That is Peter Orimbo, who will briefly talk on behalf of that sector. Thank you. Let's clap for him.
To Your Excellency, the CS for Finance, John Mbadi, our beloved Governor, Dr. Chila Yako, the leadership of the County Assembly, the business community, and our County Commissioner, and the public in general, Happy New Year. Good morning. Yes, we must be happy, and I want to tell you that our CS are very much excited as the business community to have you here today, which to me I think is the first time that we are seeing the government coming down to seek the decision and the mandate of people on the ground. Is it not so? So there, our CS, allow me to call you Waziri, I'm comfortable with that. Waziri Affair, Waziri, we are so happy to be with you here today. When we talk about the privatization of the sensitive ministries, I mean government operations like Kenya Pipeline, people think that how is it going to impact on us as a community? When we speak of privatizations of the Safaricom, that what is it going, the impact that is going to create on people in terms of the economy? That is why sometimes it is good when you look at the law of Article 10, read together with 118, is speaking about the public participation. And many of the government think they have been making decisions without coming to the ground to seek the decision of Mwananchi. But today we have seen some changes. We have seen the approach that the Waziri, allow me to call him Waziri, I feel honored to call him Waziri, to come down to seek our mandate there and say we are so much excited as people of Migori. When you look at what is driving the economy of Kenya, the private sector, we have seen many state corporations which has not been making profit. And the government has been pumping money on them. But if the government has brought an idea of privatizing them, there is something that we are looking for. Number one, the money is going to be available, like we have seen in the Stony Super. The farmers are able to get the payment, the workers are getting their salary, and that brings economical impact to the community. And therefore we as the business community in Migori I think, Waziri, we are supporting that. We are supporting that. We are supporting that with the following reasons. Number one, coming down the way you come is also giving us a wider focus on the democracy, where the government is for the people. We can see that one. Second to that, it demonstrates good governance. When we sit here together, you take our mandate. The population feels that they are honored. So whatever is done, it is a people-driven. And that is the focus. And that is the dream of every person. It also brings the accountability. In what way? When the privatization is done in a good way. In a good way in this sense that the bidding is done competitively, not selectively. So that whoever wins the tender, we feel that that is in a fair way. Another thing is that involving the local people, we are very much happy if the Kenyan people can be able to run it. But if the financial capability may not favor them, but let our people also be incorporated in the board of directors. That is who will benefit, because the interest of wananchi will be catered for. I've spoke of the community input, which you have come. And today, I'm not going to talk much because we have got our CS. CS, I want to tell you three things. Number one, we have been having leaders, but I want to tell you that you are a little bit exceptional. On what way? You are saturating the people. We hear Mbadi, and a woman was telling me yesterday, nikisa mtoto kiume tasema Mbadi. Are you getting? Yeah, I tell you that. We love you because you love us. Lastly, as I'm going to sit down, I've seen the warning bell is here. We as Migorian people, we embrace the broad-based government where Baba left us. We embrace it. Reasons, one, since the broad-based, ilinyanyusha hapa kama kaka koth. Kaka nukele kaka koth winjo. Kote aktithi dhulgudonge. Kaka nukele kaka koth. One kaka jubiasara sahi. Hakuna mtu anaenda kwa street. Nobody is going to the street. We are satisfied. In conclusion, we will support our CS. We will support the government. But one thing, as I sit down, CS, one thing as I sit down, I want to take your attention. Number one, yes, lower the interest of bank loan. And also there is something which is happening in the economy. When the central bank lowered the base lending, the commercial banks are not complying with that. They continue. And on the same loan, Mama Mboga is suffering much. Because when you look at microfinance, they are paying interest rate at around 28-30%. When we ask the reason, they say, hiyo pesa yao iko kwa risk. So I want to tell you, Mama Mboga is paying the highest rate of taxes. Of interest rate. 30%. All these microfinances, they are milking Mama Mboga. So it is my prayer, Buenos Aires, that you look at that microfinance, and also for the economy to spur is when the debt are paid. People are crying, people are committing suicide because of the pending bill. Therefore, I'm appealing to you, our CS, that in the next financial year, factor in the money for the pending bill so that the economy can be driven in a more efficient way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will have briefly the next speaker from the business community, that is Consulate Adhiambo Dongo.
To our CS Treasury John Mbadi, PS Cyril Wagunda, His Excellency Ochilo Mbogayako, County Commissioner, County Assembly President, and Bunge la Wananchi, business community, and students. God is good, and all that time. Good. Okay, fine. I'm going to talk about privatization of pipeline and Safaricom. Number one, privatization is good in a way that if one person takes the Safaricom and make it private, I think we are going to get more jobs for our children. Second to that, I think we are also going to get, our lands will be sold for Safaricom and others. Also, I think privatization of pipeline is good, but I wonder if our CS of Treasury, they're going to lower the price of fuel down. Because you know, when I take something private, I just use my own common sense. I might increase or I might lower it down. So as per pipeline, Mr. CS, look at that. Also, I want to talk about now business community. We as business community, we have a very good conducive environment of doing our businesses. Okay, more so, let me thank His Excellency, our Governor, for building for us the market, even though it has not been given to us, but let me congratulate him for doing that. Good. I'm also going to talk about this Safaricom, that is Pochi la Biashara. Pochi la Biashara is good, whereas we keep their money, but when we go to withdraw, we withdraw it with a lot of money. So, Mr. PS, look into that. We are really suffering when withdrawing that money of ours from Pochi la Biashara. Check on that. Last but not least, our children like collar jobs, and that is why they don't like business. So please, Mr. CS, can you look for funds whereby we can get low interest, not all that big interest? Lastly, may I just request you as a woman who is doing business, this road coming from Kehancha, then Kehancha to Narok, can it be tarmac for us? Because it is only 120 kilometers from Migori town to Nairobi. Please, do that for us so that we can go to Nairobi easily and do our business properly. Moso, the blue economy, if we take fish from the lake to Nairobi, we normally follow Kisii. Why don't we follow Kehancha? We go to Lorgorian, then to Nairobi. Through you, Mr. CS. Through you, Mr. CS, that road from Migori, Kehancha, Lorgorian to Narok, look into it and let it be tarmac for the people of Migori, more so from the lake region and Nyanza at large. Thank you so much and be blessed.
Thank you. We are going to the next sector, that is the Bunge la Wananchi. Naweza ona Bunge la Wananchi ambao wako hapa kwa mikono. Asante sana. We have your representatives here, so I'll welcome the first one to come and speak on behalf of them, please. Thank you. Let's clap as he comes.
Bunge power. Your Excellency, to the CS, Honorable John Mbadi Ngongo, we love you, our CS, because you are always with us. Your Excellency, the Governor of Migori County, on His Excellency, Honorable Chilayako, all protocol observed. Allow me to greet you once again. Good morning. Asanteni sana. I'm Ken Ongaga, the Speaker, Bunge la Wananchi, Migori County. Allow me to congratulate CS Mbadi, one and only among the CSs that has been there in this country, who has remembered to include Wananchi in every activity the government of Kenya is undertaking. And we want to thank you once again, Waziri, for recognizing the Article 1, which stated that the sovereign power of implementing all the activity that we are doing belong to these very people. That one is very much deserved to be appreciated from your reign as Waziri of Finance. Allow me to talk my 2 points or 3 on behalf of the Wananchi of Migori. We've heard that there is a privatization that is going on. Some of them may understand it, they will be enlightened. Some of them may not understand. But to me, who is a representative of the people and understand a little bit of privatization, I want to put it in our local term. Here in Migori Waziri, if you ask these parents, most of them are taking their ECD children or primary children to private school. Not that the public school is expensive, but because private school is offering good service and quality as compared to public. So private sector has good efficiency in service delivery. That's why the parents are ready to sacrifice the high cost of paying fee and taking them to private. But the question that will be addressed, because you are here today, is why yet the government have better civil servant and well paid. What is the cause of alarm of privatization? I want to understand, and the Wananchi want to understand. Number 2, if it is about affordability, I think the government sector as the one is easily affordable. Why going to private way? Could it be that we cannot deliver the efficient service to our people? We need to understand. Lastly, I heard about the Safaricom. How is the secrecy of our information going to be considered in the privatization that is ongoing? Because information carry a lot of our secret. I may be chatting with someone's wife that is in the information. How is that information going to be kept in secret? And my last comment, Waziri, now that my chairman wants to speak everything, what is a replacement mechanism now that you are taking everything to private? Sony here was taken private, Pipeline private, Safaricom private. What is the replacement mechanism where we are now going to say government? Waziri, this is now out of privatization, but it's a concern, as I conclude. In Kenya, when I was born, I was told that education is a basic need. If education is a basic need, Waziri, why hiking or raising the fee of university of college and colleges? Why can't we waive this fee down and we collect all the money being wasted outside so that we can affordable fee at university? Thank you. Asanteni sana. Mungu abariki.
Thank you. Thank you. Bunge power. Thank you. We will welcome the next speaker, who I think is their chair. Thomas Onyango. Let's clap.
To the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable John Bade, we normally call you in our Bunge Nyang. And when we say Nyang, we normally say Reswa. Nyang, Nyang, that is our motto. And His Excellency, the Governor, Dr. Chilayako, the Governor of Migori County, Pendra Chelwioke, the PS who are here, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, we normally call you Nyadundo Mamuel, the Speaker of County Assembly, Woodisona, the County Commissioner, MCAs, and all protocol of subs, good morning. My name's Thomas Ojwang Onyango. I'm being known by Onyango Japolo. Onyango Japolo is the chairman of Bunge la Wananchi. Bunge power! Bunge power! Though it is not political today, and we Bunge la Wananchi, our movement is power. When talking about privatization, we heard that Safaricom and Pipeline are the sectors which are going to be now on private. The question is, how does our people who are there currently as workers there, their jobs are safe? Because recently, when Sony took over, the owner of that privatization, he sacked all the workers who are there. Are we safe with our workers, our children, and our people who are there with their job opportunities? The other thing, how does these sectors, when being private, are going to benefit the people of common mwananchi? Because as we speak now, we used to see Safaricom building some hospitals, building some schools, and now it is now going to be private. How sure are we being privatization is going to promote our needy people who are on the ground? Because we as Bunge la Wananchi, we speak on behalf of Wananchi. When we see a sector building a school or building an hospital, we normally feel good because that hospital is going to benefit Wananchi. Now, these sectors are going to be privatization. How does it going to promote the local Mwananchi? The other thing, this thing is going to be given to an individual people. How can we know these people who are going to take over these sectors? We can agree as Wananchi, we want this thing to be privatization. But maybe this thing is going to be on one community. You will get that maybe this Safaricom is going to be taken by one community. The other one, Pipeline, is also one community. How can we know that this thing is going to be open for an individual who is willing to get that thing? Last but not least, on your budget of 2025-2026, have you considered normal Mwananchi, like we have border sector, we have small trade farmer business communities, and other sectors who are local here? Most important is border sector. You get this border sector, there are some people who are coming up with some loans. You get someone is taking border, and that border loan, kitambo amalize kulipa hiyo loan, border imeisha, ng'ombe imeenda. Why can government bring another way for these people? Wakichukua loan, hiyo loan iko rahisi kulipa na akuwe na bodaboda na achukue ingine, kuliko kuchukua hii bodaboda yenye inamaliza hadi nyumba yake. Thank you, Mr. Honorable Mbadi, and I want to appreciate you for taking this opportunity to bring people on the ground to bring their views. It is only you as Cabinet Secretary who has decided to come to common Mwananchi. You are our son, and we will be supporting you anywhere overnight, daytime, and everywhere, even under the water. Thank you.
In the sun, under the water, over the bridge. John Mbadi power. Erokamano. Finally, on the stakeholders, we have the youth. For a very long time, we've had leaders who don't appreciate the role of the youth in running the day-to-day government. For the first time, we have a cabinet secretary who keenly listens and implements that which the youth think. So at this point, I'd like to first introduce a team, a very wonderful team, a team of 5. This is a national youth team, which is chaired by the cabinet secretary, John Mbadi. It's a youth team that was formed to adapt and help implement that which the youth say in fiscal planning. That is the National Students Budget Forum. They have come all the way from Nairobi. They are here with us on ground, and they represent Waziri on the youthful side. Please, wherever you are, NSBF team, stand up. NSBF team. We have Joel Alo. Just come in front here. This is the National Students Budget Forum Committee. It's a team cut across universities in the country. They're responsible to take to Waziri that which the youth are saying, matters fiscal planning is concerned. I'll give the chair maximum 2 minutes to explain that which they do, and then we will have a way forward. Thank you. The chair will also introduce them.
Thank you. Thank you, SG. Let's clap for the team before Nians. This is a very wonderful. Aya. Youth power. Comrades power. Comrades ria. Comrades achu. Comrades zigzaga. Gimange makithni wa mama fuana urubadu kama. Wa baba mea. Hero kamano. So thank you very much. Thank you very much to FCPA Waziri John Mbadi, to Governor Ochila Yako Pindra, 2-term. I'm very grateful to be here. Na mimi nawashukuru sana na wananchi wote. Amjambo. Wamama hai. Leo ni siku ya soko jamani, waziri hajasikia. Wamama hai. Wamama chumvi. Aya. So with me today nimetembea na timu sana. Tumetoka all the way from Nairobi. We are the youths who are under the umbrella of Waziri FCPA John Mbadi. We are under probation. Now if you look at this youth, is a very strong team. So I'll start with this vice lady here. She's called Quinta. She's my vice. And then I have a Joel. She is our national coordinator. He is our national coordinator, sorry. And then we have our SG Samo Ugo here. He's our spokesman. And then we have our lead secretariat who is somewhere. Bado anatembea hapa na pale. Anaitwa Solomon Obade. With me, I'm Okech Solomon. Mimi ni wa hapa Umabei. Na nimeshukuru sana kukuja hapa Migori. We are working in each and every region on matters of youth's voice, on matter budget planning of 2026-2027. We are really, we started this journey in Nairobi on 10th last year, and it is a journey that is going to all the regions in Kenya. FCPA is really supporting the youths. Youths wangapi wako na Mbadi hapa? Youths wangapi wako na Mbadi? Asanteni. So this thing, FCPA is the one who is really focusing it to bring it to mashinani. Sisi tunashukuru sana Mbadi. On privatization agenda, ningependa tu kitu moja uelezee youths. kama chairman wa youth najua watataka kunisikiza tena kidogo kwa hiyo maneno nisipoiongelea. On the privatization agenda, we understand that there is almost upwards of 100 billion that will be generated on this privatizations on the privatization of these companies. How will this privatization help in paying our debts and these revenues generated? How will it help the youths mostly? Because we have the Nyota that is really helping us. What is the treasury and the government of Kenya focused in this almost 100 plus billion that is going to be generated in the privatization agenda? Asanteni sana, Mungu wabariki na muwe na siku njema. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's clap for Solomon. At this point, I want to welcome two of the representative student leaders of these institutions. We are here today, who will briefly introduce themselves and also welcome us from where the principal left. Oching Rose and Okelo Isaac. Just come forward, both of you.
To the chief guest, governor, and all the protocol observed, good morning. Good morning. My name is Rose Ochieng, Chair Lady Migori TTC. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you and feel at Migori TTC. On the issue of privatization, I just want to be brief. I just want to say that when privatized, the privatizers, they come up with the new ideas and new policies that can manage the emerging issues within the society. For example, in an institution where people who may not be productive, the new ideas can help to come up with new policies like use of digital devices to implement and move country to the first world development. Point number 2, empowerment, whereby within the institution, because the work is done online, everybody is answerable to the CEO and is a manager within the entity. Number 3, creation of employment. People are working under contracts, thus creation of employment to the newly skilled personnel. Now, issues concerning colleges. This is the opportunity that we have to use it well. The issue of help, Mheshimiwa Waziri, tunataka kujua serikali imetuweka wapi. As the TTC students countrywide, we have more than 33 TTCs. We are neglected. We feel neglected because the ones who are in the universities, we come from the same community and the parents are almost the same. The economy is the same, but we almost pay the same amount of fee. Like us, we pay 100 in a year. So we are facing so many challenges. As we speak, Bwana Waziri, Mheshimiwa Waziri, some of us are not here. They are at home because of fee balances. How can you assist us with your government? Number 2, late absorption. Late absorption of the teachers after their course. For example, utapata mtu amemaliza course, uliacha mama nyanya huko nyumbani, ama the one who failed, ama who was not able to continue with the education in the university or college, ameanzisha biashara ya nyanya hapo nyumbani ama mboga, akisave. Wewe umeleta pesa zote college ama university, then ukirudi huko nyumbani after the course, pesa zimeenda zote college, uko nyumbani na knowledge, but hakuna job. Sasa hata mwenye alikuwa na nyanya is better than you, even though you have knowledge. How can you consider us? Number 2, on that issue of college, issue of soft loan to the students who find it difficult to meet some college needs for sustainability. Hapa ndo sasa tunapata kama sisi wasichana tukiwa college, tuko hapa hatuna chochote. Parents wameuza ng'ombe wetu nyumbani, hakuna kitu imebaki. Mashamba mengine yameuza, imebaki kidogo. Kuna wanaume nyumbani wananunua mahali, pesa pia hakuna. Sasa tuko hapa, unapata wasichana wanaenda wanauza mili nje ndio wapate kitu. Hata msichana anunue pads, anunue kitu yoyote, ya sustain. Tuko na projects shuleni, hatuna pocket money, tunawekwa aje kama wana TTC na serikali? Hatuna help, hatuna hiyo soft loan na tunasuffer. Second last, we want to request you kama wana Migori, Mheshimiwa Mbadi, last year you gave us dinner with you. We enjoyed and we thank you for that. For today, we want to request you. We do project. You know, CBC is all about project and so on. So we need a good printer in this college. Tunasafa tukienda huko nje tunatoa pocket money kuprint vitu za project. Tunakuomba tutafutie project mzuri, tutafutie printer nzuri kwa college. Tukiwa na vitu za kuprint, we print for free in our college. Lastly, we have cultural in this day, in this term. The budget is 300,000. Mheshimiwa Mbadi, I want you to, I would like you, or I request you to promise to us today that you are going to support us during cultural. We have ball games this term, and we also have the budget. We are requesting Mr. Mbadi. I heard people calling you Nyang. Gimanyango mako kubuodi mak Migori TTC in Jesus' name. The Bible says start with Jerusalem. This is Jerusalem. Start with Jerusalem is when you go to Judea and Samaria.
Thank you. Let's clap for Rose. Thank you. We'll have Okelo from Rongo University.
Thank you to our chief guest, the CS for Treasury, Honorable John Mbadi, to the Governor Migori County and the boss of Migori County, Deputy Governor, all elected leaders, to our parents, and to the comrades. Good afternoon. No, sorry, good morning. Comrades power. Comrades power. So I want to take this opportunity first to appreciate Honorable John Mbadi for allowing us to engage ourselves in this privatization participation for the national government. And wherever I hear about privatization, what rings into my mind is the government now reducing or transferring its ownership and control of public enterprise to private investors. Then the question comes, after privatizing these public parastatals, how are they going to impact a Kenyan government person, or rather a Kenyan graduate who is soon going to come out of this university outside there, loitering around Nairobi streets, all the streets in Kenya, seeking for job opportunity? Then I may say privatization, in one way or the other, it may have strengths and it may have weakness. But based on my arguments, my argument will measure on weakness. The weakness are, once we privatize these things, more so, let me base on the Kenya Pipeline Company. For about some years, we've seen many of the petrol stations loaded, lacking fuel. But if today we prioritize this thing, the first thing will be raise fuel prices, increasing to transport fares, food prices, and the cost of living for students. We understand for a country to run, fuel must be considered a first priority. There is some foodstuff which travel all the way from the various parts of the country, and we should consider this so that we should not bring a burden to some of our students. Number two, job losses. We prioritize today the public parastatals. Many of our Kenyans are going to lose jobs. For instance, when the Sony Sugar was privatized, many of the locals, they lost their jobs. They went back into the village. They have students to take to school. So if you deny somebody a job, how is he going to manage for the family that he or she has back at home? We should consider that as the government before we move on. Then, Honorable John Mbadi, I have some alternative for privatization. As much as is present as a solution to inefficiency and corruption, it's not the only option. It's not the only option. What we should focus on as a government, we have very qualified graduates, very qualified people in this nation, what we should do is strengthen corporate governance and professional managers. We should go back to the villages, look for these professionals who can be good managers, rather than appointing qualified profession instead of the politician. We find many of our government sometimes it looks into the politician more than the qualified people. So we should strengthen corporate governance and professional managers. We should also have we should rather have the public-private partnership, whereby we don't sell it fully, but we can privatize with them partially. This will help the government maybe to have some forces and some powers over some laws. Then lastly, when I wind up, is that in conclusion, the government should focus in reforming the management, eliminating corruption in these parastatals so that they can move, introduce commercials, and even foster strategic with private sectors. Then lastly, now when it comes to matters, budget and processing. Honorable John Badi, I understand you are the CS Cabinet Secretary. And under your dockets, you look into every sector to ensure that every Kenyan benefit from your docket. This is a humble request from the comrades that through your docket, through your powers, Honorable Badi, you should conduct campus-based budget process so that you can accommodate all these students to come and at least say whatever they have, matters concerning the increased help allocation, reduction of tuition fees in these universities, and expansion of internship standards. Many of us are now moving out, but the internship are still the same. Kindly, Honorable John Badi, if you can have a look into it, then you do whatever I proposed on behalf of many comrades in Kenya. We'll appreciate. Thank you very much. My name is Isaac Okello. Isaac Okello is a student leader from Rongo University, serving as the Secretary General. God bless you. God bless Kenya.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I can help answer Gabriel a little bit. The sole work of National Students Budget Forum, formed by Honorable John Mbadi, is to incisively look at the issues you've just raised. So once again, Solomon, you can stand up. Comrades, this is the chair of National Students Budget Forum. Issues around help, how our voices going to make it in the next financial budget. We are doing a report across the regions chaired by him. So see him before the day ends. Thank you. On that note, those who are representatives from this institution, we also have youths across different institutions in the county. So I'll give maximum 2, and then we will go back to National Treasury. At this point, let me shortly Gabriel Okola to speak on behalf of the youths of Migori County. First.
Aya. Wanabunge mpo? Wanabunge Wanabunge. Comrades power. Comrades ria. You know the power of comrades is the second powerful power after that of the Holy Spirit. And so you must say it with vigor, zeal, and energy. Comrades, give him. Thank you so much. My name is Gabriel Okola. A believer of Jesus Christ as my personal savior. A believer of Waziri John Badi as my kingpin. A believer of my governor Uchila Yako. And a believer of my MCA Mheshimiwa Brian Osodo. I am standing here to do a noble duty. First, as a representative of all the students in the entire world, but more specifically in Kenya and here in Migori County. I am here to give a honest opinion. But first, before then, I want to thank Waziri John Badi Since independence, Kenya has had over 15 ministers of finance, but he is the first CS Treasury who has seen it wise to engage the young population. As it is known, as the young people, we are over 75% of the total population. But over and over again, we are always being left behind in terms and matters of public decisions and matters that can develop our country as a whole. And today I'm here to give you our gratitude as a young people, Waziri, and please continue working with us, and we want to assure you that we will also work with you, we will sit with you. The only thing that we will not do is to sleep with you. Comrades, power! Waziri, I want to say this publicly. In Kenya, we have one device, that whenever something new comes our way, the only thing we see is the negative aspect, even if the positive aspect is 98%. I want to specifically speak about the privatization of the 15% of the Safaricom shares. On behalf of all the comrades, Waziri, I want to confirm, affirm, and reaffirm to you that we are fully behind this initiative because, number one, this thing is going to generate for us 204 billion shillings. And this money is not going to be wasted. This money is going to be channeled to infrastructural development in our country. And then somebody is walking from one place to another telling you, Secondly, Waziri, since you are installed as the Minister of Finance in Kenya, you have worked with the young people. And one thing I want to tell you, that the young people in Kenya today requires real, achievable, and pragmatic solutions. We do not need mere slogans like Tibim, Tialala, and one time, Mago and Waonge. We want solutions, Makawan Kujo, to Nyangreswa, Reswa Kuzo Kreswa. For the interest of time, Waziri, I don't want to bore the crowd. But I'm here on behalf of all the students. Now wasakatonge wote wako hapo nyuma, wasakatonge. Waziri, sisi students na wasakatonge, sisi ni kama Wakatholiki, hatuna mambo mingi sana. Sisi, we only operate with the second law of unwritten laws of nature that states that a normal human being can only concentrate, can only participate when the content of the stomach is fully charged. Tibim or not Tibim? Waziri, I ask you, on behalf of Wasakatonge, just say a word and our stomach shall be full. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Mbadi kipenzi chetu, hatutamuacha milele. Mbadi kipenzi chetu, hatutamuacha milele. Let me welcome Aaron Odhiambo to finalize on that sector.
Aya, Jodala untie. Umor. Wamama untie. Agona sigalagala kinena kimorgi mbade. Viva Comrades, viva! Viva Comrades, viva! Viva Migori, viva! Viva Migori, viva! Dodala wa mauneno giwangu muko pimnu. Serikal mate kosok mate. Mai mapodi konana di opposition. Mana piny moro Kenya ka. Ya pam na serikal. Pamuru na serikal kumawa untie. Nyaka nyomba di ruaka serikal ka dodala wa uneno garanga ngimana olokore. Sani aringo gi GK 049E County 047 Nairobi pam na uru. Jodala wa adwana konu gimoro. Serikal imako gi lwedo ariyo. Nyaka ne piny chakre ndalo moko mane watime matin gi Ezekiel Chuka be nobedo ma president 24 hours. To Mbadi koro osebedo minister mar finance ni to kendo dhi nuoye tok 2027. Okay, pam. We are going to negotiate with the President of the Republic of Kenya that there is no post that will be offered below the CS Finance. It is either the CS of the Finance or the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Donala wacho koso kawacho. Adana wuogi joluo. Sani weche ng'eny. Ni ne ng'ani na leko. Ni ne ng'ani na leko. An ng'ama ng'e ni nyalo leko gimane baba ong'eye chunya en John Mbadi. Pam. Ma ok ng'ama nariko gi Mbadi e gari. Raila gari. So, Waziri John Mbadi, we as the students of the country, we are solidly behind you, Baba. We will support you with whatever we can. We will support you with all our body parts. Kata kogik ni walonyore mondo mpiny koka ng'eni waziri en waziri. Wabro lonyore jodalawa. Walonyre koso kik walonyre. An sani Nyasaye amua ni gima Mbadi okona ema timo. Kata kuna mana wuoth kadok ging'eyo abro wuotho. Baba wan wasechiwore ni tim kodwa gimihero. Pok nwabedo Minister mar Finance e Kenya ka. Oh, naambiwa PS asikiki jaluo. Wacha ni jaribu. PS hizi tunasema hatujaipata waziri wa finance Kenya yote. This is the first time we as the Luos, we are getting the Minister of Finance in the whole country. And we are solidly requesting each and every region and the whole country, let us force our support behind none other than Oteke Nyang' Nyadimo. Awacho koso kawacho. Baba beda motegno kite tang'eni nyalo gwei to wambe kitego abro chunge mbele ni makidi mabiro iri ane magoya ya pamna uru. Jodala uyie gi dwol achiel nudhi pako John Mbadi. Wang'ni ok wadwa weche mang'eny ni kian okel budget ni reject. Dong okel budget ka mondo wawuoye. Budget mora ma Mbadi okelo ikalo. Itimo gowa. Itimo go. Budget Mbadi tek alo pamna uru kadhi bet. Oh, miya gimoro ka. Waziri, I'm being told that all the youth within the country, and as far as Migori County is concerned, we are solidly behind the two-term. Sema two-term. Two-term. Ruto two-term. Mbadi two-term. County government mar Migori two-term. Tokupam. Uru kamano jodala. Baba aniluonga na Rono Odhiambo. Ajaka Nyasa ward, Sori Rungu, Nyatike constituency, ane wodi makayo. Wadi amos waziri koro pamna uru.
Thank you. Majority Leader, National Assembly, come. Majority Leader, County Assembly, sorry.
Thank you very much. Hey. Have the CS of the whole of this country with us here. Broad-based bear kosok bear. Nyenge lungo ni Ken Ouma, ane majority leader ma Migori County. I want to tell you that this is the way to go. With this rare opportunity, you'll allow me, Bwana CS, to invite 3 or so of my colleagues who can then talk to privatization. Thereafter, I'll invite my speaker. And in that order, allow me invite Mheshimiwa Mamba 1 minute. We talk to privatization.
Thank you. Our Waziri, Mheshimiwa John Mbadi, all protocol observed. My name is Honorable Jojo Mamba, member of Migori County Assembly, serving my 3rd term. Waziri, I'm very glad to be here. And the agenda of today is properly and clearly stated here. The other time, Waziri, and why I think we really need to support the government initiative on this issue of privatization. Privatization, wananchi, increases efficiency. But there's an issue, Waziri, you will even come in and address. Because the time we have privatization of our companies done, the government will continue getting profit out of which. Good example is Sony here. I want to confirm to you that Sony is now going to do a good job for the people around here. But Waziri, you must come in on some of these things. Like now, Sony has been privatized and some companies dealing with it. The other day, all the employees of Sony were sent home. That they are starting a new recruitment of the people that they want to work with, which is okay. But please, Waziri, come in so that when recruitment is done, good percentage of our people are absorbed from this vicinity so that we don't again transport the job opportunities to some people who are from nowhere. You know, they are from somewhere, of course. But it is very wrong, Waziri, if 70% of the people that are going to work in Sony are again imported from other countries to come and fill the position of our people. Ya mwisho. So, because we are many here. Ya mwisho, Waziri. I have finished about the issue of privatization and its goodness, and people have talked good things about it. As a people of Migori and as a people of Kenya, I want to beseech every one of us. I want to beseech every one of us that if one of us is seated here today in the name of Honorable John Mbadi, please, 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 let's support this government. Let's support him to an extent that even his appointing authority will see that the people of this region have really accepted the kind of appointment I did in this region. May as many of that opinion say aye. Sante sana.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Mamba. Mheshimiwa Unisodi, just one word on privatization. It's about gender balance because the opportunities are few. Just come and say one or two words.
Thank you so much to Waziri, my speaker, members of County Assembly, PS, and the protocol observed. Good morning. Morning. I'll be as brief as possible. I want to take this opportunity to thank Waziri for taking his time to visit Migori, to listen to the opinions of the people. Wanasema tusikize ground. This is now the ground, Waziri, that you want to listen, and I believe you'll take the feedback back. On privatization, sorry. I will not dwell much on it because a lot has been said by my colleagues. Just like what a comrade said here, you take a learner to a private school with an aim of getting quality education. And that is why we are now privatizing our parastatals and the sectors so that whatever the company was not able to produce, now the private partners or the private organization can now generate more income. Omamba has given a very good example in Sony. The production in Sony is now at par. Farmers are now being paid in time. The work is in progress, but there are challenges. So these are the challenges that, Waziri, we are calling you to come and help us address. Anything that has a merit must also have a demerit. So we will not only celebrate the privatization of these institutions, but we also have to look keenly into the demerits. If the demerits supersede merits, then we'll have the way, the other option to take. But I believe what you are doing as a FCPA, you've analyzed it, you've gone through it, and you understand it better. Finally, because I don't want to exhaust much, let us look into our education sectors. And I've heard what our comrades, our learners have brought here. It's a concern. Waziri, I was in Kisumu Poly a week ago. It's terrible. The learners there are crying. The help is not coming. The scholars were, the budget for the scholarship, I'm told, was reduced to 0. And so these learners are suffering. Like now, they are saying close to a financial year, they have not remitted the help loan or the scholarship. Watoto wanahangaika, most of them are home, and it's so frustrating. And I believe with your capability, you are going to do much. Thank you for supporting Migori, for supporting the Luos, for supporting the entire country, and continue the same spirit. Someone said here that he's confirming, affirming, and reaffirming that they'll support you. And he said they'll do everything with you except sleeping. With us, we'll even sleep with you so long as it benefits the people. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mheshimiwa Osewe, 1 minute. Owacho kosoko wacho. Uketa ni sleeping, uparo sleeping.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Thank you, Honorable Waziri. My name is Honorable Sewe. And I just have 2 issues, Waziri, on issues of privatization. Number 1 is the concern on the possibility of creation of local monopolies. We've seen this with the sugar industry. For instance, if you haven't watched, please go and watch Morara Kebaso's presentation on the companies that were shortlisted for sugar industries, where you get a company A having shareholders A and B, A1 and B. When you look at the shareholding for company B, you still refer back to company A, where you have one sugar company being owned by just probably, 4 sugar companies being owned by just one private sector company. That is an issue that is of concern to us. And as the people of Migori would probably want to know how then we can benefit out of this. Number 2, I know with privatization comes with the issues of offloading of job opportunities, especially for the current job holders. As a youth and a member of County Assembly, we also just needed to have an assurance from you that as you offload the older job groups or the old opportunities or those companies, the new opportunities that come, can you ensure that, number 1, at least we look at the age limit, so that we don't have people who are 60 and above or who have met the age retirement groups then being reabsorbed? Of course, I know there's the need for institutional memory and all that, but majority of those opportunities must be created for the youth of this country. Number 3, Waziri, I was just making notes. There's a new baby in the block, the National Infrastructure Fund. This new baby in the block, Waziri, I hope and I believe that with it comes consultancy services, with it comes new job opportunities. Kindly, I know you come from Homa Bay, but as you've always said, Migori County is like your home. Kindly, we want to urge that as you live here, you can be assured, or we can be assured, that majority of those jobs, majority of those services, as we create the new infrastructure fund, then therefore we can have our people represented. Last but not least, Waziri, there's the issue of public participation, and I was just wondering aloud. I have been enjoying the Court of Appeal judges' interviews. There's the issue of the Supreme Court decision on public participation, and whether our views here would then be taken and to what effect they would either change or influence the privatization issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mheshimiwa Machumbe, one minute, please. I'm challenged with the membership, so kindly bear with me.
Ameniambia niongee Kiswahili. Na nataka nichukue nafasi hii Waziri Mbadi, mstahiki naibu wa gavana, mstahiki spika wa jimbo la Migori, itifaki zote zikizingatiwa, na wasalimu Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Langu jina Mheshimiwa Machumbe, mwakilishi wa wodi ya Nyamosense. Tuko hapa kwa ujio wa Waziri Mbadi kwa mambo ya ubinafsishaji wa mashirika ya kiserikali. Ubinafsishaji wa mashirika ya kiserikali unapokuwa unafanywa, kuna tija fulani inatokea, na tija hii inakuwa ni kigezo muhimu katika mashirika yote na hata serikali kwa hususan. Je, labda langu tu swali ni moja, Waziri, mihimili ya ubinafsishaji wa mashirika haya ya kiserikali ni ipi? Hayo ndio maswali ambayo tunafaa kuuliza. Mihimili hiyo itakapokuwa imewekwa bayana, itatusaidia katika upande wa ubinafsishaji. Fauka ya kusema hayo, nimalize kwa kusema kwamba mimi niko ndani ya broad based, yani serikali pana ya mapana na marefu. Hiyo ndio serikali niko hapo. Na Waziri Mbadi, nimekupenda kwa mambo mawili ama matatu. Jambo la kwanza, unasikiza sauti ya wananchi, na ndio maana umefika hapa kusikiza sauti hizi ili zikaweze kutusaidia. Endapo ulimsikiza yule binti wa chuo hiki cha Migori, alikuwa na mambo faafu ambayo ameyaweka bayana. jambo la kwanza alilolizingatia ni kuhusu masuala yanayowatinga kama wanadada katika masomo yao. Na je, kuna vipande mfano akahusia vipande za sodo na mambo kadhalika yanayohasibu hapa chuoni. Naomba ukayazingatie. Mwisho kabisa upande huo, amesema kwamba kuna wale wenzetu wenye vyuo vikuu wana help, lakini hawa wa vyuo vya kati hawana. Naomba kawakumbuke na wao, kawakumbuke. Mwisho nikimaliza nataka niseme kwamba Waziri Mbadi, Mungu anapokuwa anatengeneza mambo huwa na sababu. Na nataka nishukuru Mungu kwa sababu ya baba yetu Raila, Mungu amlaze mahala pema panapostahiki wema, ni kwamba alipokuwa akiaga alipanga mambo yake. Akasema wakina Ochilo wabaki kwa county government, wakina Nyong'o wabaki kwa county government, na wewe ubaki pale national government. Na hivyo kila mtu ashikilie laini yake, wasije kukusubua pale tena national government kwamba wanataka nafasi kule juu. Wewe ulipangwa, baba alipanga mambo akamaliza. Akasema Mbadi abaki awe pale national government, na wakina Ochilo, wakina Orengo, wengine wabaki county government. Kila mtu abaki penye baba alimpanga. Kwa hivyo Mbadi, sisi tunakutakia mema kule. Na sisi kama wanajamii wana Nyanza, hata sisi kama Wakuria tunamuunga Mbadi. Hata sisi siku moja maeneo haya ya ziwa la kanda la ziwa tukaweze kupata rais wetu, tutajisikia vizuri tukiwa na Mbadi. Kwa hivyo mimi singependa kuwa na mengi, na muombea rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya 2 term. Naomba tuseme 2 term kwa William Samoei Ruto. Ili nataka niwaambie kitu kimoja. Ili huyu muungwana Mbadi apate nguvu, lazima tupatie rais William Ruto 2 term. Uongo ama si ukweli? Kwa hivyo lazima tumpe rais wa William Samoei Ruto 2 term. Mbadi apate nguvu, akue. Next term 2032 tumwambie Mbadi umetosha, enda rais sasa. Pasipo hivyo tutakuwa tunachemsha. Singependa kuwa na mengi. Mimi ni rafiki yako. Nafikiri unanipanga vizuri upande ule mwingine. Mimi nitakuja tutaongea. Mungu wa mbinguni wabariki wote.
Bwana Waziri, that is the only UDA member in Migori. So I had to give him an opportunity. Mheshimiwa Olima, 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. To our CS and all protocol observed. Let me look at my chronometer. I think it is now, it is still morning. Good morning. I am Samson Olemo Bonyo, a member of County Assembly representing the people of North Kadem. And I do not have much to say. I want to first thank the CS for demonstrating that he loves the people of Migori. He's been here several times, and we don't take that one for granted. I want to say that as a strong supporter and initial supporters of the government, I want to say that there is need for us as a people of Migori to be in this government for just one reason. That this is the only government that observes the rule of law. And we are here today because they are observing the provisions of Article 10, 118, and 1. That now we are here to speak to the same government that we elected. But I have a concern that has been raised, in fact, by other speakers. And allow me to say this, Buenos Aires, that as much as, yes, we have seen that we are looking for money to bridge the deficit that we have, because the people of Kenya are seriously burdened by the taxes that we are paying. And for us to be able to realize development, we must think outside the box. And this is one of the thinking out the box, privatization of state corporations, so that we can be able to raise money and bridge the budget deficit. But, Buenos Aires, we all know that we have determinants of prices. And one of them, Buenos Aires, what determines is the production cost. And we're all aware that for us to be able to control the production cost, we must look into the prices of electricity and other gaseous products. Buenos Aires, I am concerned, having worked in a private sector for a very long time and now in public sector. Each and every private firm would want to maximize on profit making. Now that we are privatizing, it is not in the letter, but I know it is going on, it's the public domain, that we want to privatize KPC. And we know this is the organization that transports most of the gaseous products that we use, which again, therefore, would inform the cost of living. What is the legal framework we have as a government after privatizing this to ensure that we will not have unnecessary hiking of fuel prices? That is one. Two, does this, what we're discussing here today, have an end? Does it have a loose end? Today we are talking about Safaricom and KPC. Are we going to talk about Kenya Power tomorrow? Because all these ones are state corporations. If we don't have a loose end, Bwana CS, then are we not in danger once we've given them out to the private entities? And lastly, Bwana CS, how about if we fought corruption so that we seal all the loopholes, save our organizations, and make money to fund our projects? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Lima. Mheshimiwa Agai, the last one, to come and say a word or two.
Thank you, Waziri. Allow me to ride on the protocol already established. I would have really loved to say one or two when Waziri is out, but nevertheless, I believe with him in his entourage, the experts that are from his office. One straight, I have a concern. Well, my name is Collins Agai. I'm a certified public accountant, and therefore I think this is my area of specialization. I can technically contribute. One, my concern is, and I want to put in a very simple market model. If you are in business, you have to optimize, you have to maximize opportunity so that you get the best price. I've been wondering aloud, what really stopped the government having the Safaricom shares listed in stock exchange and opened for the tender, so that we would have got the best bidder financially. Vodafone, that we are selling 15% of the shares, are already part of the shareholders in the Safaricom stake. And therefore, I know, again, it is critical that if you are selling, of course, as an insider, Vodacom is one. And therefore, they are what we call asymmetric information that they are private to, other than if this was exposed to the market exchange. It is good that privatization brings effective and efficiency. But then, it's a fact that it's not always that there are only goodies that comes with it. How prepared is the government is to bridge the gap on the shortcomings of such issues? So another issue, second issue is, looking at it, Waziri, the other day, I saw that the cost that is payable to consultancy came to around 3.9 billion. I was wondering, of course, an expert, if within the treasury, we do not have experts that would advise on the sale of the 15% shares, such that this would have saved the public the 3.9 billion in terms of consultancies. So I've asked two issues. Why, Waziri, didn't we have it listed in the stock exchange so that we could get the best bidder, save for an insider, which is a Vodafone, and the issue of the 3.9 billion. Thank you, Waziri.
Thank you very much. It'll allow me, other colleagues, due to constraint of time, I'll not be able to invite any other speaker on this matter. But however, Bwana Waziri, indeed the government's business is to take care of the public's needs and invest where there is no investor, so that when people have realized the benefits, then you are able to privatize. But as you do that, I want to urge that we address the primary role of the government. I don't see why people are paying school fees for education in this country. I don't really understand. There is no need of paying school fees if the government is maximizing And it's a cause you've really stood strongly about, and I want to urge you not to stop. The cause for making sure there is no money that goes to the MPs for CDF, then they selectively give 3,000, 2,000. Let all that money come to the treasury. That money then pay fees so that each and every human being who is in this country and feels like going for education gets it free of charge. Because there's no reason, if there's sufficient capitation, then there's no reason not for us not to go to school. And as you privatize, I also want to urge that you look at areas that are still green in terms of investment and opening up of this country, so that then you can prioritize in terms of investment. I appreciate the fact that now we have, you are ring-fencing this money for structural development, infrastructural development. Let's also ring-fence for education, so that then we'll be able to address that key component of development in society. With those many remarks, I want to once again appreciate you, Bwana CS. This is what we want to see as governance. Getting back to us, to listen to our opinion, then we are able to journey together in developing this country. I believe in this broad-based approach towards developing Kenya. Two-term kosok two-term. Two-term kosok two-term. Mbadi nyang kosok nyang. Asanteni sana. Bwana Speaker, maybe this is the opportunity for you to say a word. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana Waziri. I want to thank you very much for taking the initiative to involve our youth in management of the affairs of this country. I have seen it for myself. The university students are here. We have youths. We have people who never before have been involved in decision-making in this country. If you remember very well, in 2024, during the Gen Z demonstrations, majority of them were university students. And the complaint was that they were not involved in decision-making. They were not involved when that finance bill was being formulated. You have responded to that, and now you have involved the young people, the youths, the university students in making decisions regarding matters that affect them more than anybody else. Thank you for that. I want to, in the same vein, challenge the youths, the university students, that take it up, use the opportunity provided, and the other team, the one who are opposing government, are no better than you. They're not brighter than you. So don't allow them to mess up our country, because most of them are only opposing because they are not involved. Now that youths are involved and you are youth of this country, let's have a resolve to support the government wholly. Let's agree and also come out. If they want to go even to the streets to oppose what has been agreed on, where you have participated, let us also go there and tell them that we were involved and we are supporting. Secondly, on matters privatization, I know it for sure that government is a poor businesswoman or man, if you want to call it. Government, the world over, does not do business efficiently. Therefore, if it has been desired that privatization of particular or certain public institutions to be done, I support. Save for the fact that once money has been earned, Waziri, from that sale, the money should be put into good use so that it does not give opportunity to the shenanigans to hit back at us and say that oh, this money was meant for this and has not been applied perfectly. The only requirement from us as leaders on the ground is that if the privatization money earned from privatization is put into good use, we are supporting and we are going to stand by you. Lastly, Waziri, I want to repeat it for the 18th time, that if you want to know a man or a woman is good or bad, give them two things. Give them power and money. They will change their character. They will change even their manner of dressing. Waziri Mbadi, since you are given both money and power, don't come on, you have not changed. You have been with your people. You have been supporting us. You've been crisscrossing this country. And we know it all. We have so many. We have been having cabinet secretaries before. We have been having ministers before. For the first time, the only cabinet minister that I've seen frequent grassroots is Honorable FCPA John Mbadi. For that, kudos, and I want to tell you that the leaders, our county assembly, and our people in Migori are standing up with you. We are with you now. We are with you in 2027 as we support President William Ruto, and we are with you in 2032. May God give you the desires of your heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Riding from where the speakers left, I think it is keen to note, Migorians, that the best performing Cabinet Secretary 2025 was Honorable John Mbadi Ngongo. Let's clap for him. You cannot be ranked as the best performing cabinet secretary in the country if you're not doing drastic changes. In that line, I think it will be injustice not to mention some of the few individuals from National Treasury as the PS come to speak. So I'll take a minute to introduce the National Treasury team. I think they can just stand up and wave to the people of Migori. This is a team that made sure Waziri was the best performing CS in 2025. Let's clap for them as they stand up. Let's clap, let's clap. Thank you. At this point, let me welcome the PS for Economic Planning, PS Makoa. Let's clap as he comes. As he comes, there is a honorable member that talked about the roadmap to public participation. I think I can help Waziri on that line. By the time he comes, he'll just sugarcoat it. If you read through Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya, there is no clear legal framework of how public participation should be done. Waziri can choose to pick 2 people here, go to National Treasury, talk to them, and then he says he has conducted public participation. But he has come all the way to Migori, sat and listened to the voices of all stakeholders. Is that not an intentional leader? Let's clap for Waziri.
Asante sana. Naomba kuwasalimu katika jina la Yesu Kristo wana Migori. Bwana asifiwe. Allow me to invite my brother PS Cyril Odede to go first as the son of the soil, and thereafter nitakuja kuweka nyongeza. Tumpe makofi anapokuja.
God is good, and all the time tusalamiane Bwana. Okay, now before I proceed, let me once again welcome National Treasury team to this particular forum. They have already waved. And secondly, most of you didn't know that my brother, Dr. Boniface Makoha, who is the Principal Secretary, State Department for Planning at the National Treasury, is with us. My brother, wave again so that they see you. And I want to tell you people that this is part of broad-based government. We were appointed the same day, we were sworn in the same day, and we were taken to go and assist FCPA, our CS, John Mbadi. Before I say what I wanted to say, we have deputy governor with us here. I'll call upon the deputy governor to come and say a word, then I will say what I want to say. Bwana deputy governor, karibu.
Thank you, PS, our CS, Treasury, Honorable Mbadi, the two PSs present here, our Speaker of Migori County Assembly, waheshimiwa wote wa bunge la kaunti ya Migori, wananchi wenzangu wa Migori, Bwana asifiwe. God is good and all the time, and that is nature wow. I won't speak much because most of the feelings of the people of Migori have been highlighted by my fellow Migorians, especially on the issue of privatizing the two institutions of the Republic of Kenya, the Safaricom and the pipeline. As one say, maybe next will be the other one. But I want to re-emphasize on the issue my governor had raised. As we privatize the big institutions, organization of this country, let us also establish new one or operationalize the existing one. You have many institutions that are not yet operationalized, and yet the money from the national government or our friends or partners have been used to establish these institutions. Bwana CS, we have a great concern, especially the industrial park. Our industrial park is ready, and we are looking for partners or investors to come up and take up the industry. If we don't really put a lot of emphasis our CS, that project that the government and the county government we used over 500 million will remain a big elephant. The people of Kenya and the people of Migori may not see the importance of that facility. There is another project which was over 100 million was spent to establish a sweet potato factory in Migori County, which is within this region. We have raised so many concerns, especially how can we be helped with the national government and operationalize this sweet potato plant in here. But we haven't, because it needs expansion, it needs a lot of resources to be put there so that it can be operationalized. It benefits the people of Migori, especially where it is allocated to our peers. The people in that region from the Kuria community, they really relied on tobacco. Tobacco is no longer grown. This is a community now, they have no any source of income that is going to help them take their students to schools or support their families. So if the treasury, through the county government, can be able to put resources in that facility, our CS is going to operationalize, change the lives of Migori people. Because the sweet potato is not only grown in the Kuria region, it's grown across to Homa Bay and all that. So therefore, this facility is going to serve the people of Migori, Homa Bay, and also up to Kisii. So it's a special request that we really need to put here. You are here, and we really want your support in empowering our people. Otherwise, thank you very much. As the people of Migori, my friends, the speaker, and the rest have said, you have our support. We really want to support you and understand you, and in a special way, I want to invite you to Kuria. The people of Kuria loves you, and are part and parcel of the people of Migori. Asante sana, karibu tena Migori County. Thank you very much.
My cabinet secretary, FCPA John Mbadi, my colleague, Principal Secretary, Dr. Boniface Makoha, Deputy Governor, Migori County, members of County Assembly and Executive present, the Migori business community, students, leaders from various institutions of higher learning, distinguished members of Bunge la Wananchi, Migori chapter, all invited guests, wananchi wenzangu, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to the Regional Engagement Forum, Migori chapter. This town hall is the first 8 forums which the Cabinet Secretary will preside over, starting with Migori, Kakamega, Eldoret, Nakuru, Meru, Garissa, and Kilifi counties. The objective of this forum is to create public awareness on the government budget-making process and the ongoing privatization of government-owned enterprises. So we are tackling 2 issues: budget-making process and that difficult word, privatization. Quite a number of people were trying to say that word, but you can even say it in Kijaluo. This is tandem with the Constitution 2010, which underscores the access to information and public participation. The engagement brings together participants representing various interest groups across Migori County. And during this today's forum, many of you have had the opportunity, and you will still have opportunity to engage the Cabinet Secretary in unpacking the value and place of applying privatization to realize effective budgetary process for this country, Kenya. The aim of privatization is to create ample space for private sector's participation in nation building, while elevating government to the key role of providing enabling policy and regulations. Privatization is also essential in generating revenue for the government without increasing debts or taxation. As you may be aware, the budget-making process started in August of every year, and it started in August this year when the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury, issued a circular to all national government entities outlining the guidelines for preparing the budget. The circular includes a schedule for budget preparation, including the key dates, procedures for the review of projections of revenue and expenditure, and procedures for public participation. Ladies and gentlemen, public input is actively sought through consultation, forums, and submissions to ensure that the budget aligns with the priorities of citizens. This explains why we are gathered here today, and we have heard you, and quite a number of points that have been raised. Ladies and gentlemen, on 26th of December 2025, I was in this same hall presiding over the launch of Migori County Young Professionals. In my address, I challenged the youth of Migori to register their companies in the e-government procurement system to enable them access government procurement opportunities, especially the 30% reserved for women, youth, and persons living with a disability. Once again, let me retaliate this call because we are keen to empower women, youth, and people with disabilities. One speaker talked about curbing corruption. We can only curb corruption because corruption starts from procurement. And we can only curb it if we standardized everything. And to standardize what we are talking about to curb corruption, we are talking about processing all the goods and services being procured both by national government and county government through EGP. I can assure Migori that it is only County Assembly of Migori that is processing their tenders through EGP. I'm yet to see the executive processing their tenders from there. Congratulations, Migori County Assembly. And the Speaker, talk to your counterparts in the executive. I know they are all here. If you don't process it through EGP, don't come back to me to backdate for your letter. I've seen now letters coming, PS backdate for me because I did it outside EGP. There is no backdating. Let the auditors deal with you. Let EACC come and arrest you. So that is one thing National Treasury is doing to curb corruption. Having said that, I now urge all of you to keenly follow today's proceedings candidly. Engage and provide your feedback that is necessary to enrich the budget-making process and privatization of these two companies. Bwana CS, there are so many issues because sisi kama watu wadogo in your department, we don't deal with giving answers. We give you the answers and you tell the wananchi the answers. Quite a number of issues have been raised, which I know very well that you tackled them candidly when you faced Parliament. The most important one was lowering interest rate. Somebody talked of data security. How sure are we with our data security? One asked where our, whatever we are going to get, the 2.4 billion, how are we going to reinvest that money? They raised the issue of affordable education. They raised the issue of job security. Someone raised an issue of corporate social responsibility. My sister there, I don't know what she was talking about, but I picked it to mean either zero rating or exempting women products, which Waziri will deal with. Then there is this elephant in the room, which you tackled, and you are going to tackle it again. Why did we not list Safaricom shares in the stock exchange? And how prepared are we as a government? And again, how did we hire the transaction advisors? So those are the issues that has been raised. And with those few remarks, allow me to call upon my fellow Principal Secretary, Dr. Boniface Makoha, in charge of planning, to come and say a few words, then invite Waziri now to come and deal with those issues. Karibu sana.
Thank you, my brother. We can clap for him. Waziri, my brother PS, the DG, the Speaker, the county assembly, bunge la wananchi, students who are here, together with all stakeholders, I want to greet you again. Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Boniface Makoha, the Principal Secretary for Economic Planning, under the able leadership of our CS FCPA John Mbadi. I'll skip some of the intro because my brother has already done that, and dive straight to a few things that I want us to look at. Of course, setting the pace for the CS to come and speak to you. Fellow wananchi of Migori, leaders, business people, students, and community representatives, Kenya's journey under the fourth medium-term plan of Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda is about one simple question: how do we grow our economy? How do we create jobs? And how do we improve services while living within our means? Today, government must do more. And when you listen to all speakers, the asks are more, yet we have to do this within the limited resources, rising demands, and the tight physical space. That is why we are having this an honest conversation about privatization, not as an ideology, but as a practical economic tool. Fellow Kenyans, Kenya has faced this situation before. It is not the first time. In the early 2000s, our economy was struggling. Jobs were scarce. Service delivery was at its lowest. And people's confidence in the government was going down. Then the NAC government took over and responded with what we called Economic Recovery Strategy for Wealth and Employment Creation. This strategy, to some extent, restored discipline, opened space for private enterprises, and focused government on its core role. The result was the renewed growth, rising employment, and improved service delivery. The lesson from that period is very clear. When reforms are well planned, well explained as we are doing, and well executed, then they work for the people. One of the clearest examples that I see, Bana CS, you allow me, with your permission, just to give, is from the telecommunication sector. There was a time when communication was slow, unreliable, and expensive under government monopoly. Through liberalization, private investment, and strong regulation, that system gave birth to the same entity we are asking about, Safaricom. Today, Safaricom supports traders, farmers, border, name them, yeah, across the county, including people here in Migori. It pays taxes, creates jobs, powers services like mobile money, and drives the economy of Kenya. Kenya did not lose from that reform. Kenya gained. So what does this discussion mean for Migori specifically? From where I stand as the PS for economic planning, this discussion is because Migori is an agricultural county, and we have mentioned what it does, but it still has many challenges, yeah, faced by the people of Migori. And this probably is why we are here, to look at bringing private sector on board so that systems work efficiently and government provide the needed oversight. From an economic planning perspective, and with a mandate to coordinate the formulation and implementation of both long-term development vision, midterm plans, and sectoral strategies, privatization and commercialization are tools to fix such system where government-run enterprises are slow or are no longer delivering value. When done properly, as we are doing, they bring investment, improve our livelihood, and modernize the way we do business. This is exactly what the better agenda is all about. Bottom-up growth, well-structured privatization opens opportunities for the local suppliers, transporters, artisans, youth-owned enterprises, and cooperative. It expands value chain instead of concentrating wealth at the top. But this only helps when reforms are designed with the people in mind, as it is being done by under the leadership of our CS, of course, together with our beloved president. And when this is done and regulated firmly within the public interest, let me be clear about what privatization is not. According to the planning, economic planning perspective, it is not selling the public asset. Yeah? It is not abandoning strategic sectors. It is not creating private monopolies that exploit citizens. This is not done in closed doors. We are here to talk to the people. So I want to say that when government is doing this, a question was asked whether we are taking interest or we will take care of the citizens so that they are not exploited. Government is doing this within the legal framework, Privatization Act 2025, which requires, number one, transparency, public participation, and parliamentary oversight. This law exists. It will ensure that no asset is disposed of casually, and wananchi understand what is being done. Quickly, I just want to touch on citizens' role. Citizens, they have a role. Public dialogue, like we are doing, builds trust. You have asked very pertinent questions, which I know the CS will be able to respond to. Allows concern to be heard. So many concerns will be aired, and helps us as government to adjust reforms to the local realities. Your feedback on service quality, affordability, and access is not an obstacle to reform. It is what makes reform legitimate. In closing, I want to say this. Privatization is not ideology or selling off Kenya. It is about making public assets work harder for the people, reducing pressure on the national budget, improving service, and creating opportunity at grassroots. We have seen it work through Safaricom. Under MTP4 and better, our responsibility is to apply these lessons learned carefully, transparently, and inclusively, so that counties like Migori see the real benefit in jobs, in incomes, and better services. This, I believe, is the conversation we are having here today. I want to stop there and assure you that under the leadership of the CS, the National Treasury has been very proactive in ensuring we leave no one behind. Together with this initiative, the CS will be moving around the country in all the 47 counties, doing what we call Gumzo la Uchumi Mashinani. At least we had a Swahili member of parliament here ambaye alitukanganya kidogo, lakini anaweza eleza hiyo inamaanisha nini? Gumzo la uchumi mashinani is CS reaching out to you and having a candid discussion on our economy and where you want it to be tomorrow. With that, those few remarks, it is now my singular honor to ask us to be upstanding as I invite CS John Buddy. Let's clap for him. Asante sana.
Let's have our seats kindly. Let's have. Haya. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me begin first by giving the formal address to this gathering. And I would start by recognizing the representatives from the University Students Association who have helped me in organizing this forum. Esteemed student team leaders or team members, members of the business community, members of Bunge la Wananchi, my team from the National Treasury, the national government officials led by the county commissioner, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think it's afternoon now. Good afternoon. Let me first start by extending to you all a warm welcome to this Stakeholder Engagement Forum. I wish to thank you all for finding time to attend this very critical event that provides us with an opportunity to share our views on the management of public resources in the country, and particularly in the budget process, more so as it relates to our development agenda. So at that point, I want just to mention that today's engagement was covering not only privatization, but also the budget-making process, which has just begun. The coming month of February, we are going to table into the National Assembly, to the Parliament actually, both houses, our budget policy statement for 2026-27. And therefore, this engagement is very important. It is not an academic exercise. It's an engagement that is going to inform what will be coming into our budget estimates for 2026-2027. So I want to mention that this process built up not only from the meeting held on the 10th of December 2025 in Nairobi, where I launched the National Budget Students Fora with the sole purpose of embedding a youth-centric perspective into our national economic decision-making processes, but also from my previous engagements with Bunge la Wananchi on budget process. Remember last year, I had a historic engagement at Jivanji Garden with the public, more particularly Bunge la Wananchi, on the 2025-2026 budget. That was followed with other engagements, notably in Mombasa, Eldoret, and Kisumu. So during the students' launch, it was agreed on the need for a wider engagement with the youth of this country in their respective regions on matters pertaining to public financial management. Further, in view of the recent government efforts on privatization, it has been deemed fit to broaden this engagement to include the business community and the Bunge la Wananchi for a more comprehensive stakeholder information and participation. The successful engagement with the Bunge la Wananchi in the last financial year could only be built upon. Feedback from the Bunge membership has been that this engagement must continue. The National Treasury's engagement with members of the business community is also not new. Under my watch, it has been definitely been enriching in shaping my resolve to have in place more inclusive policies that allow more Kenyans to participate in public resource management. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to emphasize that this is not just a policy initiative, but rather a legal obligation rooted in Article 201A of our Constitution, which mandates for public participation in all financial matters so as to enhance transparency, accountability, efficient utilization of resources and value for money in the management of public resources. And I think other speakers who have spoken ahead of me have also mentioned the same. So then it means Kenyans are already resonating very well with our constitution. So at the National Treasury, we have come to the realization that the government alone cannot effectively respond to the multifaceted challenges facing our country, particularly on unemployment, gaps in skills development, digital literacy, entrepreneurship, and inclusive governance for a demographic dividend. In this regard, I have prioritized stakeholder participation as a key dimension of governance and one of the pillars for a sustainable development. We shall enhance collaboration with our stakeholders, including the youth, private sector, experts, civil society organizations, volunteers, and local communities, which is ever more critical. My forging partnerships and collaboration and public engagement will harness the government ideas and skills and resources of diverse stakeholders to better deliver services and policies in transformative ways and address the existing gaps in financial, human, and technical resources. I wish to reiterate that the youth are a significant demographic of our country, making up 75% of the population, with a potential for contributing towards economic development of the country. And in this regard, their voices must be central to how we plan, how we allocate resources, and how we utilize the allocated resources. This has therefore necessitated a shift in public financial management towards inclusive and participatory governance, where citizens, including our youth, actively engage and participate in policy formulation and act as co-creators of government policies and services. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has adopted privatization as a strategic economic policy shift to promote efficiency in the economy by subjecting more services to market forces, to improving competitiveness, revenue generation, aid in fiscal consolidation path, by reducing government spending on inefficient state corporations and market development by deepening Kenya's capital market. The objective of our privatization agenda is to ease the burden of governance of these institutions from the government to the private sector, who are better equipped for the market economy. The National Treasury will, in this regard, continue with sound macroeconomic policies to enhance resilience and create a conducive environment for the private sector, including the local business communities, to thrive. This strategic response is anchored in the bottom-up economic transformation agenda and also in the fourth medium-term plan. These frameworks prioritize sectors with high youth employment potential, such as agriculture, micro, small, and medium enterprises, housing sector, healthcare, and the digital and creative economy. These sectors are not only engines of growth, but also platforms for innovation, entrepreneurship, and job creation for the youth. Over the recent past, the youth of this country have expressed themselves over important national issues, which included high living costs, unemployment, and governance transparency. I'm sure we can all still remember what happened in 2024. What happened in 2024 was the youth expressing themselves on governance issues in this country, telling those who are in leadership that they care, that the youth are concerned about governance and about transparency. These concerns are valid and demand our immediate attention. The government has committed to transforming these frustrations into constructive dialogue and tangible solution and action. This forum, therefore, provides the perfect opportunity to provide our feedback on the necessary actions from the government to address these challenges. So during this process, we will welcome positive critique of our public financial management systems and policies to shape the budget process. And that is why I like the way the student from Rongo University came out with weaknesses. He said he was going to concentrate on weaknesses, and I think I welcome that. Your active engagement in this process will ensure efficient and transparent use of public funds, ensuring that resources allocated to address youth empowerment achieves the intended objectives. So during this launch, the launch of this process, I was elated to have received a written memorandum outlining some practical measures through which we can enhance financial support for students in tertiary institutions. We have noted the valuable feedback which includes strengthening financial support for students, financing, reforming students' loan financing through fiscal policy, targeting student grant funding for vulnerable students, facilitate provision of affordable students' accommodation, and establishing an emergency student support fund. This will be consolidated alongside the views from this regional fora for consideration during the preparation of the financial year 2026-27 and the medium-term budget process. Let me pause a bit just to mention that what we are doing here today is not going to end in Migori. We have purposed as National Treasury under my leadership to have 7 engagements across the country on the budget of 2026-2027 and privatization as a concept. From here, tomorrow we will be in the Western region, Kakamega to be specific, on the same engagement. Then on Sunday, we will proceed to North Rift and engage in Eldoret. Then following week, we are going to engage South Rift residents in Nakuru, and then the following day, we will do Kiambu for the former central province. And then the following week, which will be the final leg, we will be proceeding to Garissa for the northern region, and then the following day, do Kilifi for the greater coast region or coastal region, and finally we will end with Meru for the wider eastern province. And I want to also mention, as I've just read on the issues of education, and capture this, that out of this engagement, if those of you who are proactive, who have gone ahead to check the BPS for 2026-2027, you will realize that we are proposing to increase funding for higher education loans board from 41 billion to 58 billion. That's almost 40% increase in that funding. We are also proposing to enhance the university scholarship from what it is today of 16 billion. We are proposing to enhance it to almost 34 billion. That is another increase of about 16 billion. Now, that is a demonstration that the engagement we have been having with the youth and the students is not in vain, that we are listening. So we will make those proposals to Parliament. Parliament will consider and approve. I want to respond at this stage that I've heard some people say that we are defunding education as a government. Far from it. Let me be categorical. The truth is that education requirement is very high. But we have made deliberate efforts to make sure that we make education affordable in this country. And that is why, if you look at the budget for education in 2022 and what we have proposed for 2026-2027, it's an increase of about 150 billion going to the education sector. So whoever is claiming that we are defunding education is being economical with the truth. We are actually enhancing the budget for education, and I was looking at the numbers. Last financial year, which is the current financial year, the current financial year 2025-2026, we have provided 703 billion for education. But in the coming financial year, we are even proposing a higher figure, moving from 703 billion to 748 billion. That is an additional 45 billion shillings going to the education sector, even with the financial challenges we are facing. I wanted just to underscore, because many of us have spoken about funding education, I wanted to underscore that at this stage so that it comes out clearly. Furthermore, we are also aware of the financial strains facing our public institutions. which impact the quality of education and future prospects of our youth. Our strategy emphasizes increasing funding, as I've mentioned, also dealing with infrastructure development in the schools and other learning institutions, and curriculum reforms to equip students with skills relevant to the evolving job market, particularly in areas like artificial intelligence, data science, green technologies, and vocational trades. Not forgetting the investment that we are putting in employing additional teachers. This we have spoken about, and I continue to speak about it, that this government from 2022 to date has employed 76,000 additional teachers, a record in 3 years, and we are going to employ 24,000 more teachers in this financial year. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, the government has been in the process of formulating the 2026-27 and the medium-term budget. We have in this regard prepared a draft 2026 budget policy statement containing the proposed policies and resource limits for the period. This document has been uploaded on the National Treasury website for public review and comments. I want to invite you to go to the National Treasury's website to see for yourself, because it's a public document, the budget policy statement. It will show you where we want this country to go. It will also show you the budget ceilings for each sector. You can see how much we are allocating for health, how much we are allocating for education, how much we are allocating for social intervention, and how much we are even allocating for infrastructure, and all the other sectors, including security, so that you can comment, you can inform the discussion around the budget for 2026-27. A lot of times, we wait until the budgets are concluded, then we start lamenting and complaining why a specific sector has not received enhanced budgetary provision. Yet now you have the opportunity to make your voice heard by the National Treasury and the government of Kenya and through National Assembly. Please take advantage of this window and communicate with us. Even if you write to National Assembly, all the correspondences received at the National Assembly must be acted on. That I have communicated to my team, and they are aware. So please take advantage. So I'm looking forward to receiving valuable comments from, to inform the finalization before submission to Parliament by mid-February. I wish to urge for your concerted effort to enable us build a Kenya where opportunities are accessible to all, where youth are empowered to lead, and where our collective aspirations become reality. Together, we can forge a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient nation. Ladies and gentlemen, as I come back to privatization, privatization is often part of a broader process of structural reform. Privatization transactions are very complex and require careful consideration of a number of issues. Well-designed and implemented privatization policies are essential to ensure credibility of reforms, to help governments achieve their objectives, and to create efficient and competitive markets for goods and services. Privatization of state-owned enterprises ushers in the private sector to participate in commercial activities that government-owned enterprises are undertaking. And that is why recently we passed a bill which is now an act of parliament and is part of our legal framework called Government-Owned Enterprises Act. That act has brought significant reforms in how we are governing or going to govern commercially viable, profitable government entities, about 60 of them. They are going to be run with a commercial mindset, not where when Mbadi fails in his bid, in his political bid, then you find space for them in these state-owned enterprises. That is going to be a thing of the past. Board members or governance structures of these government-owned enterprises are going to be recruited competitively through interviews, and they are not going to remain political appointees as it is today. we will still continue making political appointees in other state-owned enterprises that are not commercially viable or which are not profit-making. You can go and earn some allowances in those other enterprises. But those which are considered commercial enterprises are going to be run with a business mindset. That is the reform that we have brought in state-owned enterprises. Let me move quickly to conclude my formal address. Then I will have a few minutes to engage you off the cuff. Na hapo naweza ongea Kijaluo nikipenda. So this is necessary because the private sector carries out commercial activities more efficiently, and that has been said, than the public sector, especially in a competitive industry. By the way, I hope you are aware that you as individuals and your private businesses are included when I make reference to the private sector. Every one of us here belongs to the private sector. So the benefits of privatization include lower prices, and that it surprised me when many of us had the feeling that if we privatize KPC, that it would result into higher prices. That, far from it, it should be the reverse. And I will explain to you once I finish my speech. Results in better quality of goods and services produced, wider choices for consumers, more innovation, minimal red tape in decision making, and less corruption. To safeguard these benefits of privatization, the government has a social obligation to maintain a fair business environment through appropriate regulations and policies. Already, Kenya has developed a fairly robust regulatory environment with the Competition Authority of Kenya overseeing all sectors of the economy, supported by sector-specific regulators such as Communications Authority of Kenya. So privatization as a key tool to address the following three major economic balances government, which I want to mention, the three major economic issues that need to be addressed through privatization. One is the government debt, two is the public expenditure, and three is revenue raising. So in this regard, a robust program must be designed to address fiscal sustainability challenges by limiting government debt, constraining budget deficits, and promoting counter-cyclical fiscal policy. Having pursued fiscal consolidation in the recent years, the policy has now reached optimal levels and hence cannot be pushed further. Kenyans have told us no more taxation. No more taxation. Ama kuna mtu hapa anataka tulipe ushuru zaidi ya what we are paying today. Kama kunaye, nataka kuona ukiinua mkono. Kama unataka kulipa more taxes. Kuna mtu hapa anataka tuendelee na kukopa deni zaidi. Then we must be innovative. We must be creative because services must still be provided. Kenyans still want services. So for us to finance those services without more taxes and without taking more debt, then we must be innovative. We must be creative. Number one, we must curb corruption. We must reduce corruption. That is why we are coming up with measures like e-procurement, treasury single account, to make sure that we reduce the exposure that public officers have in taking advantage of our systems and misdirecting our taxes. And then we have to also raise revenues in a different way. Having pursued fiscal consolidation in the recent years, as I said, the policy has now reached optimal levels and hence cannot be pushed further. In this case, an economic stimulus mechanism must be pursued. You will agree that unlike taxation, and I hope you listen there, unlike taxation, privatization never reduces private sector wealth. Privatization, in most cases, encourages propensity to invest and enhances aggregate demand, which in the long run would widen the revenue base. Taxation reduces private sector wealth. When you are taxed, money is being taken away from you. it reduces your wealth. Whether you are very rich, moderately rich, or barely surviving. Like many of us. But still, we are coming for your money in your pocket. Despite the struggles. So taxation is something that, even though we can't avoid it, but it reduces our wealth. But privatization does not. It does the opposite. Privatization gives you an opportunity to invest your resources that you have in an asset that would be profitable and that would give you more resources. As I conclude, I want to say that our economy is in a critical turning point. And to sustain the economic achievements realized thus far, both from a macro and fiscal perspective, the low inflation that we are talking about, the interest rates that are coming down. By the way, 1 year ago, the average bank lending rate was at 17.2%. Today it is 14.9%. It is coming down. And I want to, that I think is a message I'm sending to our friend from the Chambers of Commerce. It is coming down, although we would want the interest rates to come down at a faster rate than it is today. And that is why we are telling banks they must take advantage of the rates, that the lowering of the base lending rate, to bring down the rates of loans that we give to the private sector. But for us to maintain that momentum of these positives at the macro and fiscal level, we must turn to innovative financing mechanisms to fund our infrastructure and public service projects. So as the financial needs of the government continue to outpace available public resources, private sector participation has become a critical tool in addressing infrastructure gaps, enhancing service delivery, and promoting sustainable development. There are many success stories on privatization, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, before you allow me to make a few off-the-cuff remarks. It is not just Safaricom. By the way, let me remind you, Safaricom was barely a department in the government. It's a small thing, making some meager profit. And people were happy with it that time, that this is a profitable company. The government took a decisive decision in 2008 to privatize Safaricom. In fact, even earlier, to invite partners. Then after that, after inviting the partners, in 2008, the government offered to the general public part of Safaricom. That is why today we own 25% of Safaricom as individuals, as Kenyans. 25%. Look at the transformation that has taken place in Safaricom. The kind of profitability of this venture. What makes you think that we have reached the optimum? There is still room for Safaricom to even be more profitable. And let me tell you, the technology space and telecommunication, more particularly telecommunication, is advancing rapidly. You cannot afford to be static. But with heavy government presence in Safaricom, we will be stifling growth in Safaricom. Because government by its nature, whether you go to America, you go to China, you come back to Kenya, is bureaucratic. Government systems are bureaucratic. It is like there is a policy in government that a document cannot be transacted fast. So if you want to allow private sector to thrive, if a company to thrive or a business to thrive, you must inject private sector ethics into the management of that entity. That is why I am saying, apart from Safaricom, look at KCB. Kenya Commercial Bank was on its knees, was barely surviving a while back. Where is it today? It is one of the most profitable banks in this country, comparable only to a few. because of privatization. Kenya Power, someone talked about Kenya Power, whether we will privatize. Kenya Power is already enjoying privatization. We privatize Kenya Power and Light. Before, it was running into losses and losses and losses. Today, Kenya Power has started making profit because of privatization. What of Kenyan? I can go on and on. Of course, there are also failures, like Uchumi. We try to privatize it. It's a total flop. So it depends on how you execute privatization and the timing. If your timing is wrong, you will get it wrong. And I will tell you, with my knowledge and understanding, our timing for Kenya, for KPC, the Kenya pipeline, is perfect. If we don't do it now, believe me, we will regret a few years to come. Don't ask me why. This is the time to privatize KPC to make it more profitable. That is a company that has the potential. If you have money, if you have some money to spare, kindly save it. We are issuing IPO next week for Safaricom, God willing. Thank you. Wacha sasa nirudi kwa off the cuff. And I want to say this in English before maybe you allow me. I know there are a few of us in the gathering who don't understand Doluo, including my great friend, Deputy Governor. Lakini siku hizi unaishi hapa Migori. I am sure you understand a lot. If I were you, I would still continue pretending that I don't understand. Yes, nijue kina nani wananisengenya. But let me point out the following. I have spoken a lot about budgets. And ladies and gentlemen, maybe you don't know. Let me tell you. Many of you who saw me lose weight when I got into this office, you don't know why. Our economy for a long time has been on its deathbed. To the extent, inafika tarehe 15 and you have not cleared paying salaries for public servants. It was that frustrating. 15 of the following month, people who have worked for the government have not been paid in full. Loans, external loans are coming up for payment. Debt settlement. And you don't know whether you will pay them or not. Kenya was listed among 6 countries in Africa by IMF which were going to default, not which would have defaulted. No, they were going to default. It was just about when. 5 of those countries have defaulted. It's only Kenya which has not defaulted. And by the way, many of us don't know the implication of defaulting. That is an economy that is completely ruined. The moment you default, that is an economy that cannot easily come back unless now you just become slaves of other people. They will be directing you, do this, remove staff. How many staff do you have in your payroll? 3 million, 2 million. That's what would have happened to Kenya. You are told how many chiefs do you have across the country? We have 10,000. Remove 5. Remain with only 5. And you have no choice. You'll take them home. How many county commissioners? Go home. How many teachers? You can survive with half. How many MCAs? You must make sure that the MCAs across the country from 1,400 reduced to half. Members of parliament reduced to half. Salary, everybody reduced by half. That is what would have happened to Kenya. So, it is because of decisions that have been taken over the years. Some of them are very faulty. You invest in an infrastructure project that has 30 years of repayment period, payback period, 30 years, and you are taking a loan of 5 years to finance it. 5 years loan for a project that will start paying you in 30 years. Are you being clever? Are you being wise? And then you also don't have any space for taxation. Yet, economy must grow. Our youth, Kenya has one of the fastest growing population in the world. And we are educating our youth, and they are very intelligent and sharp. And they are coming out of school, out of colleges with no jobs. Our economy growing at 4%, 5% cannot create enough jobs. We must make this economy grow at 7%, 7.5% and above. That you can only do, you cannot do that by being complacent and comfortable with the way things are. We must invest more in infrastructure in this country to expand the economy of the country without A, taxing people, 2, taking expensive loans that would be impossible to pay. So where do you run? You have assets here. You have Safaricom making profit, yes. But out of it, you can raise 240 billion shillings at one go by selling only 15% of it. You have 35%. You can still retain 20%. And by the way, it is not just this government which is selling or offloading shares. It's actually not even sale. It's offloading shares. It's only Uhuru Kenyatta who did not offload shares in Safaricom. Moi did 40%. Kibaki did 25%. We are only doing 15%. Why this noise about 15%? Why didn't you make noise when Kibaki was releasing 25%? Or is it because of ethnicity? What is the justification? 240 billion. How much dividend are we getting out of 15 billion today? Out of 15 billion today, we would be getting about 6 billion shillings. Divide 240 by 6. 40 years. It will take us 40 years to get, if we retain the 15% and get dividends. That dividend, if we get the 240, that 240, we will take 40 years. So you want to refuse money today because you want to earn the same money for 40 years. Will you be alive? You have not even factored the time value of money, because 240 billion today is not 240 over the years up to 40 years. So long as where you put that money makes sense. And that is why we are saying that, yes, we have some infrastructure projects which can be commercially viable. Which roads we can toll, dams which we can use for irrigation, commercial irrigation. We have energy in this country. The reason why we have blackouts all over the place is because Kenya is generating only 3,000 megawatts per year. But our economy should generate no less than 10,000 megawatts. Where are we going to get money to generate more power? Mutaua Wandai bure, ati Wandai anafanya kuna blackout, anatoa power wapi? He cannot manufacture power in Ugunja. He needs to invest money to generate power and transmit it across everywhere in our villages and in our factories. Where does he get that money? He has to come to me. Where do I get the money? If I cannot offload these shares, what do I do? I will go to IMF, World Bank, to China, to borrow loans expensively. Who will pay it? You and your grandchildren. If I cannot go for loan, I will come for your money. I will come for your salary. I will come for ile pesa unatengeneza ukiuza mboga. But if I can't come for it, allow me to offload some shares. And what we are saying, we are offloading these shares. We get 240 billion and put it in an infrastructure fund. That infrastructure fund is going to crowd in private sector. So what am I saying? Let me just explain it in a minute. If, for example, a road has been coasted. Now, let me not give the example of a road. Let me give the example of JKIA. We have the worst airport in the region today. And we are the biggest economy in this region. Number 6 in Africa. The only economies which are bigger than Kenya in Africa is South Africa, Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, and Morocco. All in, apart from South Africa and Nigeria, North Africa. Kenya is the only economy standing in this region. We have bypassed Ethiopia. Yet we have, what if I was speaking in Kijalu, I would say Kundudok. As airport, leaking. You arrive in Jomo Kenyatta and it is leaking. It's a shame. And it is costing around 260 billion shillings. If, for example, we make 20%, we take from this fund, 20% of that cost, which will be about 50 billion, and invest, and we cost it, and we say this airport will pay itself, because people who are coming in pay money at the airport. Those who are bringing goods pay money. The air ticketing, everybody, the airlines, they pay money. They will pay back. We take 50 billion, we look for people with money, institutional investors. Bila kuenda kwa dani, tutaenda kwa institutional investors who have money, both external and internal. And we partner. What in Kiingereza tunasema blended capital. And do that airport in 1 or 2 years. And then we start crowding in investment in this country. People start seeing Kenya as a serious investment destination. Who does not want that? And naysayers will always tell you, government watakula. Kwani ni sisi ndio tunaweza kula, wao hawezi kula? Why must we wait for them to be in leadership? And they have characters worse than some of us. Give us time, allow us space. We get these assets, optimize their value, and invest in our infrastructure. As I conclude, Kenya pipeline, we are again not selling, but we are releasing around 60-65% to you people and any other investor. We retain again 35 like we did with Safaricom. But that company will make more profits, and we are going to raise about 100 billion, which we can put in this fund and utilize to do major projects. We have listed across the country the roads that can be profitable across the country, including Migori and Homa Bay and everywhere else, and the rest of the country. We have listed energy projects. We have listed irrigation. Let me give you this example. Today, Kenya, for food security, out of analysis and assessment, Kenya requires about 10 million to 15 million more bags of maize every year. Beyond the rain-fed agriculture. Now sample this. Galana Kulalu, which we are now harvesting out of the 1,500 acres, 1,500 acres. Galana Kulalu, if we do the dam, we will irrigate 200,000 acres. And that dam costs 40 billion, 30 to 40 billion. And we can irrigate 200,000 acres. Each acre produces between 30 and 35 bags per one harvest. And you do 2 harvests in a year. That is between 60 and 70. Even if you take the lower, that is 60. And you multiply by 200,000 acres, that is 12 million bags. You have already sorted the food situation in the country. Who does not want that? And we need only between 30 and 40. Even if you take 40 billion, will come out of this infrastructure fund. And by the way, Galana Kulalu, the investors are already just around. They want us to invest, and then they come and invest their money and produce food for this country. That is the way we should be thinking. And we can release some of the fertile areas like Ketale, where we are growing maize. We release that area for coffee and tea. and export and get foreign exchange to this country. Are those wild ideas? I don't think so. Kora Atieko. Atieko kawacho ni gima nokela kani en monda wuo gi jopiny waduoko sirikal e piny e grassroots. Sirikal ok en mar Nairobi. Katiba mane wakadho manyien ni ma 2010 ni okawo teko keto kuom japiny ma en in gi an. Emomiyo nabiro iru ka mondo anyisu ni koro wachako loso budget mar higa manyien. To kendo be nabiro wuoyo kodu ni gik muwinjo winje redio ni nitiere gimoro ni Kenya Pipeline gi Safaricom ni sirikal dwa uso. Adwa ni kawuono winji koa e dhoga. Iuso gi koso ok usgi. Safaricom wanie gi gimiluongo ni 35 ewi 100. 65 nosedhi ne jomoko. 35 ni ema wawacho ni wadwa kawo 15 wachiw kendo wadong' gi 20 kende. 15 mwachiwo ni dhi miyowa pesa moro maduong' makore lach mwadwa ni waketi mondo konywa e loso gik machalo yore, mondo watim go gimiluongo ni irrigation, mondo wakel go stima ma ok ni koro stima to lala ng'ato timo welding ne to stima olal. Uwinja ni ng'ato nosekoni ni akelo ni pesa kiny abiro adwa ni los na koma ni mondo ka kiny adonjo to ayud ko ikore. Ikone ni mano ber, ikelo pesa di, an gi siling 10,000 kiny akelo ni. Kore ka sami kasori iloso kom, stima kore kolal. Stima dwa dhi seche 6 seche 8 imbi ol idok ot kik dhako ne ni baro kuonde moko. Dhako riti. Kore kidok ka stima ne pod onge ikuong'o wandai. To gima wandai timo onge nikech stima ema waonge go moromo. Koro wadwaro ni mondo wamany pesa ma wanyalo kelo go stima mabedo reliable. Rach koso be. Ok bende ratieka mane privatization. Koro adwa na wachnu wach moro koluwore gi Migori ka. Mondo atieki. Migori ka awinjo ka governor no wacho, governor Musiepna gi wacho ka Mbadi Jahoma Bay ni to Migori biyero. Onge Mbadi ma Jahoma Bay. Ana ja Migori. Migori County ka ema wuoro odake higni 17. Emonyuolwa te. Kamonyuolwe mudonge mane dalau. Kuma wantie ja alawe dak. An jadak. Koro kik chieng' moro gitama bedo governor ma Homa Bay na jadak. But governor ma Homa Bay be okadwar. Koro Migori ka kanyitimo budget manyoro nyo wadhi kodu maber. Ang'eyo ni budget manyo waketo ji penjo ni to nderni manowachi ka gin kanye. To donge nyu neno ka nderni gi nyocha wagolo pesa molandgi. Sama nyo landgi kawuna miyo report. Nderni 7 nyocho lande e Migori County ka. Nderni 7. Sama wawueni nderni 2 kuomgi wachgi oserumo. Ose contractor osebedo identified imiyo baru week manyien. Maendara ma wuok Kanyawanga kadhi dede nyaka Rapogi. En wachni oserumo. To gi ndara machielo ma wuok Posta, Nyikendo, Nyarongi to dhi nyaka Makalda. Ndeni 2 go jokera osetieko wachgi. Gin osetieki imiyo gi contractor. Nderni 5 pod inono buge mondo kik kiny jo EACC mak jokera ni gitimo procurement marach. Nderni 5 gi inono gi kotieki gimbi imiyo contractors barua. Achiel en Stella Gogo. Mar 2 en Nyarobiro Kombe Nyanchabo Road. Mar 3 en otho nyaka got kachola. Mar ang'wen en kababu, bondo, nyaka piny oyie. Kaeto mogik en nyamtiro, kegonga, kugitimo nyaka Loliondo. Yorego itimo negi evaluation as we speak. Pod itimo negi evaluation. Koro adwa wacho ni it is not empty talk. Whatever we had put in the budget, we are releasing money as we get money, and they are being advertised and they are being awarded. The 2 roads I've mentioned have already been, the contractors are identified, they are going to be awarded. Then we give what we call mobilization fee, then we launch them, and I will come personally to make sure that they are launched and they are constructed. We are in Migori TTC. Pardon? Ndara Mamiuru, I don't know why they have left it. Mamiuru is among the 5. Then it is list morning naka. Ndara ilungo ni Masara nyaka Miuru. Engi a budget of 487 embe chocho lande. More team evaluation upon na kwayo ja roads na list. Then I'm aware of that list, that road out. But angeo ni enbe obedo evaluated to be awarded. Sawa sawa. I'm sorry not on any complication neto tere umos. Mokwango muwacho masori no adich go moloyu. Ene yo madich go but any complication ni the contractor po kwa golo ndara elwete officially. I don't want to lie to you. Nindara mawuok Masara kadisori ni biro tieki tomorrow. No, we have to make sure ni wa terminate the tender kai to worry advertise. Mawuok agolo muoka disori advantage manyo one go. Any no better awarded to 2 contractors by mistake. And that award by mistake has come again to be a blessing to us. Because now when one contractor has failed, we have instructed a contractor from Suba now to proceed all the way to St. Camilas to connect the 2 roads. I am very happy because now I will not be stuck in the mud. Gewa achoni minister mane mamoke chuodho. Koro kabi moke chuodho kendo Nyasaye okonya anbe lemna uru kanyo. Donge ugona mean. Koro we ura tieki. Keji questions wuok birumo. Adwa tieko kawacho mna kaugini koro. Wach ni orumo. Migori ka TTC, Bwana Principal, you know we had already allocated for you a budget for the issue of, what do we call them? Asbestos, and also to do tuition block. There's 100 million. Nikirudi Nairobi, unikumbushe, we release the money, exchequer, ikuje, mjenge. Nyako chao kwa yawe chario, I'll connect with you, kaka, printer pesa di mikwa yo minister niya. Printer toknu kwa yo kada MCA kai. Printer no en pesa di. How much? 60,000. Around 50,000. When a principal liars with me, I give you money for printers. Lakini, mano to kata majority, kata mnachuora. O ingogino. Mano ki makara chuora odonge. Hello? Hello? Kono joturua. Nadwa na wach nu wach mogiko so kora we. A wach mogik ni. Comrades, ang'eyo uni untie. Abiro neno ukatie koma. Uwinja. Awinjo. Aya. Jobunge dwa dhi chiemo gi President Nairobi. Uwinjo jothurwa. An gima sesome siasa nyaka nadonjie. To kendo bena bedo japuonjre mar Raila Odinga higni mang'eny. Nawachonu ni an achako donje siasa mar baba. Jomoko nyokona na luong ni the late, an luongo Raila ni the late podotama. Baba iga prochiko kariyo. Gima sesomo e siasa ni nyakibed strategic. Nyakibed strategic. Wan kako ganda. nyaka wabed strategic. And I don't know watch nu, nika wadwa survive kaka oganda. Nika ikokwa survive gi unity mar oganda. Ni wapogore kaka oganda, to bende kaka warumo politically. Onge ng'ama biro chako deo oganda mar onagi e Kenya ka ng'ama biro kawi serious onge. Nikech gimose miyo ikawa serious en riwruokwa. To gima biro ketho riwruokwa mar oganda en kokwa miyo jaduong' Oburu Oginga luor. Nikech wanyiswe ni onge piny ni ng'ama onge gi makosa. There is no leader without a weakness. Kata mana baba manyonindo ni wan wajo manyochiegni kode, I would tell you today. Wang'eyo weaknesses mag baba. Monindo goka. But ne waluwo baba religiously. Magimo wacho to bedo final. Oburu nyalo bedo gi weaknesses, but embe nigi strength ne. Oburu nyaka wami luor moromo gi luor mimiyo party leader gi luor mimiyo jatend oganda. We must do it. We have no choice. Gombo to wabiro bedo go. Ng'ato yiene gombo. Kata ini nyalo gombo mtoka maringecha. Mileki. Miakendo sa mileko ina makiketo lueti dirisi woni en mari kichieo. Tinwango ni kare ne mano okgachi. Pok ni bedo minister mar finance. Tinyalo leko ni minister mar finance. Koso? So gombo yieni. Ng'ata magombo ogombi. To wawene Dr. Buru thuolo mar telo ne party mar ODM kendo ne telo ne oganda wa nikech Nyasaye emokete kanyo. Chieng' moro mar Mbadi biro, Nyasaye biro keta. Kapok oketa, ayie ni nyaka telna. To ka chieng' moro keta, an bende abiro dwaro ni ji oyie ni mondo atelnegi. Mana adieri koso miriambo. Adieri koso miriambo. To kendo kwa dhie 2027, kwano mwagoyo, en ni ere kamibidewa kaka oganda. Ere gimwayudo kaka oganda. To ka ok wadhi kaka oganda, ng'ama biro kawowa seriously onge. Ng'ata mabiro dwaro telo ne piny ni, biro manyo jok moriwore. Biro manyo jok man gi nguvu, man gi voting power. Aketho kamoro? Aketho kamoro? Koro unu neno sani, jowa muneno wacho ni mondo gol Ruto gi. Uneno ka giketo ni oningo gol Ruto to gi loso teams adek. Team achiel ok wene Ruto thuolo. Wuothe tiende ka seche te. To team achielo ni ei sirikal, sabotage sirikal. An ang'egi. Team mar adek ni oko bakidi. To gin ginyalo timo mano nikech gin gi namba maduong'. To wan ok wanyal pogore kamano nikech namba wa ok duong' kamargi. Omiyo wan mondo mi wabed gi mbi mibuogo go ng'ato, nyaka wabed mana kaka nyocha wan chon. Ema nomiyo nodewa Amolo Wuod Oganda. So an adwa mana kwayo kaka oganda, kendo kik wabed gi pogruok moko matindo tindo iwa. Ni ng'ane kia Jakure, ng'ane kia Jasiaya, ng'ane ja Homa Bay, ng'ane ja Migori. Onge ng'ama ong'e dholuo moloyo joluo mamoko. Waduto wawacho dholuo waduto. Koro an gima tieko 2032 kono ung'eyo ni onge arrangement mwabiro bede 2027 ka ok wagogo kwan ma 2032. Ng'ata madonjo kodwa arrangement nyaka nyiswa road map ma 2032. Nikech wan bende kaka oganda nyaka ne Kenya yudo uhuru. To wan oganda maratipo machalo kama. Kendo wan mwakedo ne Kenya ni to onge dichieng' moseyiene jaluo mondo otelne Kenya. Ka ng'a mitiyo wa kamano. Wan bende nyaka waikre, nyaka wapangre, nyaka watim jogging, nyaka warwak sirweche motegno miluongo ni uniform mar 2032. Ji adi moyie gi mano? Aparo ni gi kanyo. Uwe achop gi kanyo. Kech ung'eyo ni ng'ama notimo ang'o? Ni ng'ama notimo ang'o? Ni ng'ama notimo ang'o? Ni ng'ama notimo ang'o? Ng'ama nong'eyo onge. To Nyasaye mepolo malo to notimore nade? Nyasaye mepolo malo to notimore nade? Thank you very much. Kora aparo ni bende gi kamwa chopene. Aparo ni juse bedo nyaka koro sabiri chopo. We have done our best. Okapar there is even need for again opening up any discussion. All the sectors were represented here effectively. And the issues came from the groups. And Mbadi has responded. Sawa sawa. Aparo niki kama wagikeni. Kuiena. Tokoro wa progress wadia the next level. Maeni. Wanenoni tuwa uoka nango. Okamano. Goro ere organizers naka mondo miya consult go. Hey. Aya. Kura paro ni kama chope no. Onyisa ni angadi. And when angado, everything is sorted. Everything is sorted. Joga ginika. Make sure ungeo all the groups, all the categories kaka nubiro. Make sure nubiro sorted. Ya wamanoko gobe nabiro oko kanyo. Koro unirita uru oko kanyo. Abi wawinjore.